And we are back on again. Just doing a bit of setup here. Alright. So previously, I believe we ended chapter 4. Yeah, chapter 4 finished last time. Hey, Sag. You here for a time travel? Okay. That sounds good to me. You here for the end of the stream, Anthony? What does that even mean? Are you early? Just a little bit. Just a tad. I opened my eyes to a deep scarlet sky. I'm on my back, lying face up. The sky is vast and the color ominous. I'd never seen it like this before. Hey Carson, where am I? I sit up. Okay. There's nothing here. A wasteland stretches to the horizon. Nothing but rocks and dust as far as the eye can see. The previous chapter ended on Suzuha telling me that her dad went by Barrel Tighter, right? How did that lead us to here? No plants, no water. No sun, no moon. No warmth, no cold. It's the beginning of Fallout? Not a single breath of wind. Yeah, I was about to say this is probably a dream. Like, if this isn't a dream, I have no idea what it is. A frozen world. It can't be Earth. Mars, I could believe. Why am I here? This must be a dream. I give up thinking about it and lie down again on the sand. I guess I'll wake up soon. I should just wait until then. I wait, but the dream shows no sign of ending. Have I ever had a dream this lucid before? There's a terrible ringing in my ears that keeps me awake. I realize that it's the sound of silence. Dude, honestly, like, the sound of silence is so rare, because there's almost always just, like, at least the slightest noise. My belongings are gone. I have no watch, no phone. The lack of motion numbs my sense of time. How long have I been lying here? It might have only been a second. It might have been 3 days. An epiphany. The concept of time is a human construct. The universe at large has no use for it. Time is a cage that we created to feel secure. Within its walls, we can forget our own insignificance. I'm thirsty. It hurts to breathe. This void is no place for a human. We're not strong enough to live in a world without time. Tears fill my eyes. What do they mean? I no longer know. I want to die. Yes, let's die. But what is death? To be frozen in time? Time stopped for me long ago. How can I die in a world that is already dead? If Anthony's down to die, let's do it. Everything inside me is crumbling away. Who am I? I can barely recall. My soul is melting into the void. What is this? Is someone there? Anyone? Something moves in the corner of my eye. Impossible. I try to move my eyes, but I've forgotten how. I'm gonna guess that's, Mayuri. Found you, Okadin. Okadin. A pleasant voice silences the buzzing in my ears. It reminds me of who I am. Okabe Rentaro. This time, my eyes move. Yeah, that's definitely Mayuri. There's a girl sitting on a nearby rock. I recognize her. My frozen brain comes alive. Her presence breathes new life into this dead world. Mayuri? My brain is still half asleep, and I can't speak. It's Mayuri. Shiina Mayuri, my oldest friend. She smiles at me, swinging her legs. This is the Earth, you know. 70 million years ago. Some scary people sent you here in a time machine. This is a dream, right? Mayushi went looking for you and found Okadin's and found Okadins from many world lines. You're one of many Okadins, and also the original. Mayushi's one of many Mayushis, and also the original. And now, Okadin and Mayushi are going to die here. This is a dream. Right, Mayuri? But I know that another Okadin and Mayushi will pick up where we left off, 70 million years in the future. So everything's A-okay. This is a dream. So it was a dream? Gah! I jerk awake on the top of the sofa. My body is drenched in sweat. It was a dream. Yo, the title screen music. I must have fallen asleep sometime around noon. What a horrible nightmare. I guess that threatening email I got is still weighing on my mind. Still, Mayuri had to save me. Even in a dream, that's unacceptable. I'm the one who saves her. That's the way it should be. Besides, Mayuri's not smart enough to talk about time travel like that. I sit up and look around the room. She's right where I expect to find her. In front of the TV, watching a Rainet Kakadu DVD. On the screen, the Upa riding Kakadu's shoulder is screaming something unintelligible. I wish I had an Upa. Look at her sitting there all spaced out. Mayuri needs my protection. That dream was wrong. Yeah, what the heck was that? I chug a Dr. P and check my phone. No new emails. I sent Tighter a message several hours ago, just to make sure that he really isn't Suzuha's father. He hasn't replied yet. Obviously, Daru and the others don't know that I changed the past. Why am I calling Fades? Wait. This is Hoenn Kyoma. Yeah, it's Fades, yeah. Sage is doing the bring now? Oh, it's you. Akiha Romeo. Yeah? Who's that? Who's that, yeah? I could have sworn her real name was Akiha Romeo. Don't tell me. Could the D-mail have changed that too? No, I think she's just... Yeah, exactly. She's just... doing her persona. Fades is Fades, yeah? I don't have any other names, yeah? Yeah, right. Your true name is Fades. Yeah, right. Your true name is Fades. My apologies. Of course, she's just being her usual self. Well, what is it? If Fades is calling me, it might be about the IBN 5100. She did promise to help us find one. You've been too conspicuous, nya. The cat's out of the bag, and now you're trapped, nya. Huh? More of Face's usual nonsense? The 4 Guardian Kings have awakened, nya. There's no escape, nya. Heh. Is that so? If you think the 4 Guardian Kings can stop me, just wait and see. Akiba will be drowning in blood before nightfall. After the 4 Guardian Kings are the 4 Guardian Queens, nya. After that, it's the 8 Devils. And then the Black Angel 12, nya. That many? What's going on in this town? You really stirred up a hornet's nest, nya. I'm sorry, Kyoma, but this is checkmate, nya. No, it's not over yet. If I can just acquire the item, I can turn the tide. What's this? Notices nya. Have you still not located an IBM 5100? Sorry, nya. I have agents all over the world. I have agents looking all over the world, but still no luck, nya. What? So she has no progress to report? Please hurry. I'm running out of time. Okay, nya. I'll tell you as soon as I find one, Kyoma. Until then, hold on to your 9 lives, nya. Yeah, I can't die yet. Else She hung up before I could finish. Dang it. That's why I hate talking to Fades. Anyway, moving on. This time around, my search for an IBM 5100 is going poorly. Actually, I suppose I should consider myself lucky for having found one so easily the first time. I mean, the IBM 5100 is practically an urban legend. There are people like Moeka who have spent months searching with no success. Last time, it barely took me 3 days to reach Yanabayashi's shrine, almost as if something was guiding me there. It was fate. No, it was the choice of Steins Gate. That's why its loss is so painful. Guess that's why they call it the Phantom PC. Oh, guess that's why they call it the Phantom PC. Dada was sitting at his computer, like always. I read on that channel that some collectors will pay millions of yen to buy one. IBM 5100s are serious business, man. If they have that high of a premium, then people must know their secret. They're all after the data in CERN's mainframe. I don't get it. How come they're so expensive? I mean, I guess they were pretty expensive to begin with. Looks like one cost about 20,000 back in the day. 20,000. That is expensive. Anyway, I can't believe it's so hard to find one. Sure, it was a nice machine for its time, but only for its time. You'd have to be crazy to want one now. Maybe it's one guy buying them all up. The harder something is to obtain, the stronger the desire for it becomes. That's how people are. And that's exactly how I feel now. In the depths of CERN, completely isolated from the outside, lies a database coded with an IBM 5100. What secrets are sleeping there? Could it contain the data from CERN's time machine research? Could there be proof that the Committee of 300 exists? The desire to know grows stronger by the day. It's not just about plunging the world in chaos anymore. We need the power to oppose CERN's evil ambitions. And then there's that threatening email to consider. Dado is confident that CERN won't find us, but I can't afford to take that for granted. After all, we're up against the brightest minds in the world. The scientists who invented the World Wide Web. And they're backed by a secret organization more powerful than any nation. We're way out of our league here. They'd have no trouble at all crushing our puny lab if they desired. That's why we need a trump card to hold against them. But without an IBM 5100, we can't move forward. I'm getting restless. Whoa, what's this? Dadu suddenly lurches forward to stare at his monitor. What's wrong? But there's no way that's right. What are you talking about? Explain. Well, I'm pulling data off the server, looking for a way to gain root access. And these files are downloading crazy fast. I mean, we're talking light speed here. It's hard to believe, but for some reason, this area has a direct fiber optic line to CERN. Several lines, even. Direct? What do you mean? I mean, there's literally a fiber optic cable running from underneath this building to CERN's headquarters in France. Is that strange? Yeah? Dadu calls up the National Assembly of France's website. Then he brings up the command prompt and hammers out some commands. Have a look. This is the route we use to visit the National Assembly of France's site. It starts from our IP address. From there, it passes through various relays in Japan, jumps to France, then bounces around there for a while before finally reaching the National Assembly site. It takes 16 steps total to get there. The average transfer rate is about 300 milliseconds. That's normal for an overseas connection. In other words, that's the route we have to take to get from France to get to France from Japan. Everyone takes the same route. Other countries are the same. Even browsing domestically takes about 10 steps. Now let's try CERN. Dadu calls up CERN's homepage on the browser. Then he displays the route like last time. The result was only one step. Unlike before, the signal doesn't pass through any intermediate servers. The PC we're using, its registered name is Akihabara PC, is connected directly to CERN in France. Is that because of the hack? And the transfer rate is hundreds of times better than usual. Crazy fast. You can't even get these numbers domestically, man. Why do we have a direct line? Is this even possible? It was like this when we found it. I didn't do anything. So the building already had a hotline to CERN? This can't be a coincidence. It might just be this choice of Steins. It doesn't make sense. Why would there be an independent line running from here all the way to CERN? My best guess right now is that it has something to do with Suzuha. Because she was the one that she asked Tenoji, I think his name is, the guy downstairs. She asked him to get a job there. Like, he wasn't looking for anyone, but she wanted a job there. But why would she? If it's because of this, then it makes a lot more sense. Daru's so excited, he interrupted me. No Japanese or French telecommunication company would set up something like this, which means CERN did it themselves. Daru gulps and nods. Cold sweat oozes from his brow. I feel a chill as well. CERN might be able to see everything we're doing. No. Maybe CERN has been expecting us for years. How could that be? The answer is simple. John Titor claims that CERN completed their time machine in 2034. Just 2 years later, the world is a dystopia under their rule. Maybe the CERN of 2034 considers our opposition in 2010 a threat. Maybe they used their time machine to travel to 2000 and install a fiber optic cable to track our every move. It's entirely possible. Has the invention of the time machine started an intertemporal war? If so, what can we do? Our enemy might be stronger than even I can imagine. No, I mustn't lose heart. I need to think positive. But thanks to this direct line, we can now control the LHC remotely. You figured out how? Wow, that's amazing, Daru-kun. You're spooked, Carson? I mean, I kind of am too, but I'm also really interested. Mayuri pauses her DVD and comes up beside me. With a connection this fast, we can control the LHC practically in real time. I haven't actually tried it yet, though. That's right. Even if this is some kind of CERN trap, we might be able to make use of it. They're still vulnerable to our attack. The LHC is that 20-kilometer long tunnel thing, right? What does it do again? It accelerates protons and smashes them together. Oh yeah, mini black holes, right? The official line is that mini black holes might manifest as a byproduct of particle collision, but that's not the truth. According to the top secret documents we found, the LHC was intended to create black holes from the very beginning. But we still don't know exactly how they do it. We need to think of a way to... Okabe. Oh wait, no, that's... Okabe. Kurisu suddenly emerges from the development room. She was cooped up in there all morning. Her expression is unusually grave. What's wrong? I figured it out. Figured what out? I think I know how the phone wave works. Really? Kurisu nods. She still hasn't smiled. Keep in mind that this is just a hypothesis based on what we've observed. It's closely related to what you guys were just talking about, the LHC. I believe it was you, Christina, who called the LHC the world's largest microwave. Yes, exactly. My hunch was right. You created a monster, Okabe. A monster? It doesn't belong in some amateur lab. And before you take that as... wait. And before you take that as an endorsement of your abilities, I mean it in a bad way. Kurisu clutches her arms as if to keep from trembling. Give me details. Did you know that the microwave oven was invented as a byproduct of radar research? Daru and I nod, and Mayuri shakes her head. We read up on all that back when the phone wave, named subject to a change, started acting weird. Microwaves are electromagnetic waves with a frequency of 2.5 gigahertz. The phone wave is commercial grade, so its output is around 1500 to 2000 watts. Here's the important part. Kurisu goes on to explain that the electromagnetic waves output by the microwave are somehow connected to the electromagnetic waves output by the phone. In fact, you could say they fuse together. According to Daru's blueprints, the microwave and the phone are made to send out shared electromagnetic waves by taking their leads and hardwiring each of them to the magnetron's cathode and anode. A type of vacuum tube used in microwave ovens and radar produces strong microwaves. On one hand, we have the microwave's super strong electromagnetic waves, originally a byproduct of the military's research into radar technology. On the other, we have the cell phone's standardized electromagnetic waves, a frequency now ubiquitous throughout the world. What happens when you fuse the two waves? Both devices are electromagnetic waves. I'm not a specialist, though, so I can't examine the extent or magnitude of the influences that fusion has. But hypothetically, if the cell phone were to become a stepping stone, scattering the military-grade electromagnetic waves over a vast range of hundreds of kilometers, then not just Akihabara, but all of Tokyo would turn into the inside of a microwave oven. Taking into account slight variance due to body weight, the average time until death for the people inside would be 3 minutes. Eh? Seriously? The phone wave's a weapon of mass destruction, isn't it? Is it really that powerful? Let me tell you what happens inside the phone wave. The air inside the oven is full of invisible hydrogen atoms. First, it bombards the atoms with microwaves to increase their energy potential. This is the normal function of a microwave oven. But when you add the electromagnetic waves from the phone, the harmonics trigger a chain reaction. The particles collide repeatedly at near light speed, gaining mass and energy each time. In other words, it becomes a sort of particle accelerator. Particle accelerator? It's literally the same as the LHC. So if the LHC was created to generate mini black holes, then the phone wave, named subject to change, must also produce mini black holes. Kurisu doesn't deny it. It's a miracle that this has been so stable. But there's still one thing I don't understand. Even if it does produce many black holes, they should evaporate instantly. But that's not what happens in the phone wave. The jellification phenomenon proves that. Just like in the LHC, our many black holes are turning into Kerr black holes. According to Titer, you have to inject electrons to produce the Kerr black hole effect. Where do the injected electrons come from? That's what I don't understand. The LHC uses something called a lifter to inject electrons into the black hole and control the gravitational field. Something is filling that role inside the phone wave. Something? Like I said, I don't know what. It's easy to pretend to be someone you're not. Ultimately, however, there's no escaping the contradictions between your false self and the real you. It's a paradox, and paradoxes can't hold. I tried to tell myself that I didn't need anyone, that forming bonds would only hurt, but somehow I ended up joining your circle of friends. I still don't know if it was for the best. No, I'm sure it was. Without you, I would have given up on ever finding my dad. I don't know why I wrote all this. I guess it's just I guess what I'm trying to say is thanks. Are we sharing confessions now? Be careful to whom you expose your innermost feelings. They may use them against you. So I guess that's what it comes down to. All Kurisu's explanation does is confirm our hypothesis that the phone wave, named subject to change, functions the same as the LHC. Looks like we need to review what the LHC is. It's time for our LHC MOE guide to shine. LHC stands for Large Hadron Collider. Hadron? You like that they all stop talking and wait for him to read out the email and reply back? I mean, that would just be awful game design if they didn't stop. It's the name of It's the name of an elementary particle. The LHC is basically a huge circular tunnel underneath Switzerland and France. It sits about 100 meters below the ground and has a total length of 27 kilometers. There are two rings that run through the tunnel. Inside the rings is a super low temperature vacuum, an environment like outer space, basically. Seriously, Moe. In an adjacent facility, protons are gradually accelerated by the linear accelerator, the proton synchrotron booster, and the super proton cyclotron. Finally, they're injected into the LHC, where they undergo their final acceleration via a series of superconducting magnets installed in their tunnel. By now, they're traveling at up to 99.999991% the speed of light. That's enough to melt your brain. Not as dangerous as the phone wave, though. Finally, the accelerated protons collide approximately 1 to 10 billion times per second. The purpose of the LHC project is to study the high energy reactions that result. Or so they say. We know we know there are a bunch of stinking liars. I guess that about covers it. And that, my fellow lab members, brings us to the question: can the phone wave, named subject to change, beat CERN to true physical time travel? Two problems. One, setting the destination. Two, the lifter. We've already established that the D-mail arrives precisely when and where it's supposed to. It's dangerous to accept that without verification. Agreed. As for the lifter, we already know it exists. We just need to figure out what it is. I don't think we're going to find it. The phone wave's not exactly big, you know? And we've been poking at it for days without turning up a clue. Even if we do find it, it'll take forever to learn how to tune the electron feed properly. How long is forever? CERN's been working on it for 9 years and they still haven't solved it. We're just amateurs, so it's bound to take even longer. Wait, I have an idea. Let's look at it from a different angle. CERN tried to send people back in time, but they couldn't get the electron feed right. The singularities were not naked. It's the same with the phone wave, named subject to change. You can only send 36 bytes of data safely, otherwise you get a jelly man. Let's consider the problem in reverse. What if we could convert a human to data, then compress that data into just 36 bytes? We could send that person through the ring singularity just like a D-mail, couldn't we? Convert a human to data? That's not even possible, man. And even if it were, there'd be like exabytes of data or something. You want to compress that into a 36 bytes? Are you high? I thought it was a good idea. Guess it's not that easy. The barriers to time travel are just too high. I turned to Kurisu, meaning to ask her opinion, and then I realized that her expression has changed dramatically. Her eyes are white as saucers, and her mouth is hanging open. Of course. If it works, then maybe... She pauses for a second, and then... Maybe we can do it. Do what? Time travel? It's hard to believe what Kurisu is saying, even though it was my idea in the first place. Are you serious? Kurisu grins triumphantly in response. The data compression part, at least, is easy. We can just use the black holes created by the LHC, since black holes compress everything they swallow. Compression won't harm data like... Compression won't harm data like it would to harm a human. Like it would harm a human. As long as we're just sending data, there's nothing to worry about. I get it. But wait, can we really pull off such a stunt? And besides, how do you plan to convert humans into data? You know that my thesis got published, right? There's no time to flaunt your accomplishments. Have you read it? I haven't. I've got scans if you want to read it. Dado opens up his image folder, scrolls past tons of 2D porn, and opens up the scanned image. Sure enough, there's Kurisu's name in big English letters. The title of my thesis is Analysis of Memory-Related Nerve Impulses in the Temporal Lobe. Temporal lobe? Nerve impulses? What, you didn't know? No, wait. This can't be right. This title sounds like, neuroscience, not physics. The scientific study of the brain. This field incorporates biology, genetics, medicine, psychology, and electrical engineering. I'm a neuroscientist. Got a problem? What? I can't believe it. From the way she talks about particle accelerators and time travel theory, I was sure she had to be a physicist. No, forget about that. How is this related to time travel? Converting an entire human to data is impossible. But converting a human's memories may be possible. Converting memories to data? Kurisu proceeds to explain her thesis. Memories accumulate in something called the parahippocampal gyrus, or hippocampus, which is located in the temporal lobe of the brain. But what exactly are memories? Kurisu's thesis analyzes that question from a neuroscientific perspective. All the brain's functions manifest as electrical signals running through its neurons. Even memories are written to the hippocampus by electrical signals. Kurisu analyzed how specific electrical signals correspond to specific memories. The mechanisms by which humans recall memories can be likened to a word association game. You begin with a vague abstract image, which calls successive images of increasing clarity. Imagine a chest of drawers. Each drawer is filled with tiny boxes, and inside each box is another bunch of tiny boxes. You keep opening boxes until you find the memory you're looking for. Kurisu discovered that the number of retrieval commands, nerve impulses used to search up memories, is surprisingly low. Out of hundreds of millions of nerve impulse patterns in the brain, only a few thousand are related to memory. It was the successful analysis of these patterns that earned Kurisu and her research team critical acclaim in the scientific community. Now, before you explain how this relates to time travel, there's one more thing I need to explain. Several years ago, my lab, the neurophysiology lab at Victor Condoria University, developed a technology called visual rebuilding, or VR for short. Yo, VR! Let's go. Put simply, it enables conversion of video data into nerve impulse signals. Used in reverse, it can also convert nerve impulses into video data, or any other kind of electronic data. So if we combine VR technology with my research, do you see where I'm going? No way. We can convert memories into data? Not just that, memory transplantation, backups, external storage, all those things become possible. It's like science fiction. In a sense, this technology could be used to copy a person's soul. According to Kurisu, some religious groups strongly oppose this research, as you might expect. On the other hand, the medical community is ecstatic about the possibilities. In any case, it's amazing that my assistant here was able to make such an incredible discovery. Of course, she did have a university supporting her, but still. So basically what you're saying is that we convert the subject's memories into video data. Use the LHC's black holes to compress that data into 36 bytes. Send that data through the Kerr black hole inside the phone wave, named subject to change. And finally, imprint those memories on the subject's brain in the past. What does that mean? We can send our memories back in time. In order to differentiate it from physical time travel, let's call it a time leap for now. You don't go back, just your memories. It's so crazy to think that nobody's thought of it before. She's right. The idea is ridiculous, which is exactly why none of the geniuses at CERN can come up with it. This union of physics, neuroscience, and neurophysiology will make the impossible possible. To transfer memories to the past via cell phone, to time leap. The important thing to remember is that only memories are being transferred. personality and consciousness aren't included. What does that mean? How's it different from what you see in sci-fi novels? Time leaping in a sci-fi usually sends everything. Consciousness, personality, and memory. But in real life, there's probably too much data. And besides, we only analyze memories. Think of consciousness, personality, and memory as separate things. Memories are like video data stored on your computer. And consciousness and personality are like the OS. But videos can take up way more space than the OS. It's just an example. For starters, it's still not clear whether personality and consciousness are located. It's not clear where personality and consciousness are located, or how they're constructed. So we can't convert them into data, or at least I can't. Great voice acting, thanks. So we can only send memories, but where does that leave us? Your memories aren't the only thing that define you. Even if you send your memories to the past, it'll be receiving your use consciousness. It'll be receiving your consciousness and personality that process them. So in Mindorn's terms, it's like copying data from a Vista computer to a Min-95 computer. Fictional, the most widely used operating system in the world. Alright. Data created with the latest OS might not work on an older OS. It might cause errors. For example, if you send your current memories to yourself in elementary school, the gap between your memories and your body could have serious consequences. Anyway, is it correct to assume that we'll be targeting ourselves in the past? Kurisu nods at my question. Just like with email, we're using cell phones as the transfer medium. To be precise, you can only leap into your own body, and only if you had a cell phone at the time of reception. There was an exception in Lukaku's case, where we sent a email to a pager, but that doesn't apply to time leaping. If you try sending memories to someone else, how do I put this? There's a danger that the electrical signals might be rejected. Wouldn't want to jump into someone else's body. I mean, unless it's the body of a cute girl. You almost didn't start watching just now because Super Genius is playing Persona 5. Jeez, that is a predicament there. Is this guy capable of a non-perverted thought? Yeah, Tanner's better. Don't me, you idiot. If it just bounces off, that's fine. But I'm worried incompatible memory data might do serious damage to the recipient's psyche. I don't know what might happen. No one's done it before, after all. That makes us pioneers, I think. I like it. There's two things I do know. One, you definitely cannot go back before you were born. And two, you won't exist in two places at once. That means you don't have to worry about causing a paradox. You can't kill your parents before you were born. So the phones act like black and white holes. It seems like a strange coincidence that cell phones would be the medium of time travel. But really, could it have been anything else? These days, people wear their phones like a second skin. No other medium could reliably deliver memories to their intended target. The more I think about it, the more I realize that this was meant to be. Heh. Heh heh heh. Mwahaha. I whip out my phone and place it on my ear. It's me. Everything is falling into place. The plan can now proceed to the final stage. I'm talking about Operation Verthandi, obviously. The second of three Norns, sister goddesses of fate, in Norse mythology. The three sisters tend the world tree, Yggdrasil, whose whose roots lie in Erd's fountain. Verthandi is the Norn of the present, popularized in Japan by a certain goddess. Manga. Somebody answers phone owned by someone else. That's a problem. Heh. Christina had me fooled. I never knew she was capable of this. It must have been the choice of Steins that sent her here. Don't worry. I have everything under control. Nothing can stop us now. Else I congru. I put away my phone and turned to Kurisu. Were you listening? Good. Commence preparations for Operation Verthandi. First, explain what that is. We're gonna build your time leap machine, Christina. And you better not say it can't be done. Not after showing me the way. This game is free on Android? Well, this is Akihabara. I should be able to find the parts I need. Then it's decided. I'm placing you in charge of this operation. Whatever you need, ask, and it shall be yours. Together, we shall complete the first time leap machine in human history. Kurisu nods. Her eyes are shining with a fierce, hungry light. As I thought, she's a scientist to the core. Mayuri and Daru go home, leaving me with Kurisu. She's sitting in the development room chair, endlessly twirling a pen in her fingers. What are you doing? Thinking about the time leap machine. I know we can make it, but I'm wondering what will happen if we actually use it. Ah. She hasn't even started working on the machine, and she's already worried about what comes afterwards? That takes confidence, alright. Are all geniuses like that? What will happen when we use it? I doubt we can find an answer to that question. Not without testing it live. Kurisu knows that. What she's really wondering is whether it's worth the risk. That's why I avoid arguing with her. Technically, they will be testing live. I don't think that's exactly what they meant. You're thinking too hard. Finish the machine, then worry about it. Oh, 'cause I'm live, right. You're so pompous. Kurisu groans and flops down on the desk. It's strange to see her like this. She's usually so cool and collected. But maybe that's an act, and this is who she really is. Hey, Okabe? Can I talk to you about something completely unrelated? I'd rather talk about something related. You told me before that I could ask you anything, remember? I did. I don't remember that. I think my father hates me. She sighs sadly. Ah. So that's what she wants to talk about. Parrish does. Oh, shut. It's Michael. A conundrum. This isn't like before, when she was merely an advisor. The Time Leap project depends on Kurisu to succeed. It is clear, however, that she will be unable to focus as long as these petty concerns distract her. In that case, it falls to me, the great Hoenn Kyoma, to solve her problem once and for all. Only then she can devote herself fully to the future of the lab. Very well. Speak. Eh, you really are pompous. I assume it was your father on the phone the other day. I am speaking, of course, when I found Kurisu outside the lab, crying into her phone. The mood was delicate. Yeah. Kurosu does it. I don't remember the last time he had a kind word for me. Even when we were living together. Before I went to America, he acted like I wasn't there. We're supposed to be family, aren't we? And you? How did you treat your father? I was daddy's little girl growing up. He practically had to drag me away from him. She smiles, but in her smile I see a hint of self-mockery. My father's a physicist. Even as a child, I loved to hear him talk about science. I couldn't understand a word of it, but I always begged him to explain. I wanted to understand his work, so I started studying physics. I must have been 5. Dang. I guess that's what makes her a genius. Or perhaps the yearning for her father's love was what gave birth to her genius. Thanks to that, I always got perfect grades in math. I ignored all other subjects though, so my grades were a little skewed. I even read my father's papers. I was a little girl trying to comprehend theoretical physics, but I gave it everything I had. I needed to understand. By 6th grade, I learned enough that I could discuss my father's theories with him. I was so happy that I could talk to my father on his level, you know? We used to argue all night long. And then I started winning those arguments. All of them. Yeah, I can definitely see how that would make him hate you. You guys ever hear about Twitch Prime? Why are you bringing that up? A tragedy fitting for a girl genius. What kind of scientist loses to a grade school girl anyway? Seriously. Jeez, Tanner, what a sellout. Gosh dang it, Anthony. Tricked me. You really think that's why? I'm absolutely certain that's why. Get ya baited. Harsh. I guess he did have a lot of pride. Pranked. Anyway, one day he suddenly stopped talking to me altogether. Then he started fighting with my mom. And finally he stopped coming home. I really loved my dad, so it was a big shock. I felt it was my fault things turned out that way. I couldn't go to school. I was so depressed. And then Mom recommended I study abroad. So that's why she went to America. You were just too talented for your own good. So how do you feel about your father now? I don't know. Kurisu looks down. He's in Japan, right? Have you seen him at all? No. He doesn't want to see me. That's what we were talking about on the phone. I asked if we could meet, but he told me to stay away from him. Her father is quite the inferiority complex. No wonder she was crying. Even for someone as strong-willed as Kurisu, it must hurt to hear that from your father. Even if we did meet, I wouldn't know what to say. I tried to talk to him before I left, you know? I tried so hard, but he just ignored me. It hurts. Whenever I think about going to see him, I remember those times. I worry he'll ignore me again, and then I can't do anything. Are you crying? Just a little, okay? You want to reconcile with your father, correct? I don't know. If you didn't, then you wouldn't have confided in me. And you wouldn't be crying, would you? True. Just be straight with him. Say I love you, Dad. Let's make up. I think that's a little out of character for me. It's your father. Stop acting like a weak little girl. Kurisu jerks upright, her face bright red. I'm not acting like a little girl. Yes, you are. You'll never reconcile with him like that. You need to speak to him. You need to speak from the heart. Give it to him straight. It's the only way to get your message across. You can't sugarcoat it. If that doesn't work, nothing will. Then you'll just have to hope that time heals the rift between you. And how long will that take? How should I know? I'm only a year older than you, remember? How long has it been since you went to America? 7 years. If nothing has changed in 7 years, then maybe it will. If nothing has changed in 7 years, then maybe it will take twice that time. I guess you're right. Kurisu sighs heavily and rests her chin on her hand. Did my advice backfire? It looks like she's even more depressed now. I fold my arms and rack my brain for a solution. I don't want to see Kurisu like this. It's pathetic. Well, when are you gonna see him? Huh? Kurisu opens her eyes, wide in confusion. I take out my phone and bring up the calendar. You gotta go to work tomorrow? No, Sag, no. Alright, see ya. I assume it'll be during summer break. Make sure you let me know ahead of time. Well, what are you talking about? I might have plans, and I'll need to shift my schedule around. Hold on a second. Don't tell me you plan on coming along. Of course I do. You're my assistant, and I'll do whatever it takes to ensure you that you're in peak mental condition for the experiment. Kurisu looks dumbfounded. What, did I say something wrong? Okay. You've had your fun. I'm in no mood for... I'm being completely serious. I'll go anywhere you want. Anywhere in Japan. Wait, anywhere in Japan. I had to go anywhere in the world, but I don't have a passport or money. Okabe. You're afraid you don't know what to say, right? Yeah. Then that settles it. I'm a master of conversation. You will have nothing to fear with Ho and Kyoma at your side. Why are you laughing? You couldn't hold a normal conversation if your life depended on it. Ah. By Jove, she's right. A mad scientist does not care about things like tact and decorum. He dominates the room with his sheer presence. Perhaps a softer touch is called for here. But thanks anyway. I definitely didn't expect you to offer to come. Not that I'm happy about it or anything. I hate how you act like a nice guy sometimes. It's confusing. Confusing how? Why is she yelling at me anyway? Shouldn't she be thanking me instead? Okabe. That offer. I can take you up on it, right? Wait, I can take you up on it, right? Of course. Then, once we're done upgrading the phone wave, I want you to come with me. As you wish. Where is your father anyway? Aomori. Aomori? That's where he lives. That's where he lives now. That's way up at the north end of the island. Like 700 kilometers or something. I wasn't expecting to have to go that far. What? You're not gonna back out, are you? You already promised. I'm taking you whether you like it or not, okay? Aomori it is. If promising to go to Aomori will let Kurisu concentrate on the time leap machine. It's a small price to pay. A small price indeed. The next day, Mayuri and I go shopping at Radicon. We have a list written by Kurisu of parts for the time leap machine. Naturally, I'm paying for everything out of my own pocket. Kurisu and Daru have already started work on the upgrade. Apparently, the conversion of memories into digital data requires software developed at Kurisu's lab in America. She can download that software from their designated server. But that's not the only thing we need. There's also some kind of brain scanning headgear that we're going to have to make ourselves. Incidentally, I have to pay extra close attention to make sure Mayuri doesn't wander off while we're shopping. If she sees some random store that interests her, she'll literally stop and stare at it for hours. Going from Tokyo to Aomori by bullet train is over 15,000 yen per person. But the overnight bus is only 5,000 yen. Which do you prefer? I want to cover the traveling expenses, but I don't have that much on hand. I'm staying at a hotel, but I'm not a celeb. Mama's pretty strict on money, not to mention she'd kill me if she knew I was going to see my father. So maybe we should go by overnight bus to fit our budget. I'm fine either way. That is exactly how I would respond. It's like, I'm fine either way, yeah. I keep walking, of course, and only later realize that she's not behind me. Then I have to run from store to store looking for her. This must be how parents of small children feel. Anyway, this is nothing new. Mayuri has always been like this. I'm begging you, stick with me. If you get lost in this labyrinth of technology, you'll never escape. Not with your sense of direction. Okie dokie. Okie dokie, I'll be careful. By the way, how is time leaping different from time travel? I'm already prepared for the Okabe cosplay / roleplay in my future. I could do that, honestly. Did she really hear what I just about... Wait. Did she really hear what I just said about not wandering off? Besides, Kurisu already explained the difference yesterday. You have a lab coat? Alright. Time travel only means your whole body travels through time. The time leap will only send your memories to the past. It's simple. Just memories. No personality or consciousness included. Although Kurisu did mention that there was no way to be sure of what might happen to your consciousness. Oh. Does that mean you can do things with time leaps that you can't do with emails? The emails can only send instructions to the past. The past may change or it may not. The results are unpredictable and depend on the recipient. And when does the past change? And when the past does change, the world line is reconfigured. Everyone loses their old memories. I am the exception, thanks to reading Steiner. With a time leap, on the other hand, you can give your past self not just instructions, but all the memories you have right now. Or at least that's the idea. We won't know for sure if it works until the time machine is built. Until the machine is built. So I could send the costume I'm making back to last week? I would love to have another week to prepare for Kamima. That might be possible with time travel, but not with time leaping. Say you had a test last week. Now that you know the answers, you could send that knowledge to yourself and ace the test. But you couldn't go back and hand yourself a cheat sheet. So Mayushi's mind goes into Mayushi 1 week ago? Exactly. While this conversation has been going on, While this conversation has been going on, I've been steadily purchasing items from Kurisu's shopping list. You can't bring stuff. You can't bring stuff. But you can bring your memories. I get it. But then what about Mayushi 1 week ago? Where do her memories go? I assume they get overwritten. We haven't tested it yet, though. So there's no way to be sure. She disappears. Your memories right now include your memories from back then. So even if she does disappear, you don't really lose anything. I guess you could say you're just adding your memories from 1 week in the future. Then, if Mayushi's memories leap into Mayushi 1 week ago, what happens to Mayushi now? Mayuri's asking some pretty philosophical questions today. Thanks, that helps. I'll keep plugging away at this time leap machine. After all, I am a lab mem. But I guess anyone would ask the same. Mayushi's memories jump to the past, but my body's still here, right? What happens to me when my memories go bye-bye? You become an empty shell. No, that can't be right. That wouldn't make sense. My assistant's device merely records your memory data. In other words, it's just a backup. Your original memories are still inside you. Nothing inside the brain is lost. You don't become an empty shell. Besides, neither personality nor consciousness is transferred to begin with. Your body shouldn't become an empty shell, and your consciousness shouldn't leap either. No, wait. There's another issue here. Actually, won't you become a new Mayuri? One who received memories from the future 1 week ago? Not that anybody, including me, would be able to tell the difference. So then, does the Mayushi who had the normal memories before the time leap get erased by the... Wait. Does the Mayushi who had the normal memories before the time leap get erased by the Mayushi who repeated the week with extra memories? This is getting complicated. That's right. She's erased. In other words, you relive the week. You could do things the same, or you could do something completely different. And you'll keep your old memories of the week that disappeared. Then, does that mean... The questions keep coming. She's trying hard to understand her own ditzy way. So I redo the week, okay? But what if I decide to go to Ikekuburo with my friends instead of coming to the lab today? What happens to the Mayushi talking with Okurin now? The present would change to match the past, and this conversation would never happen. Oh, and you wouldn't notice the difference, Okurin? Right, no one would notice. That'd be kind of sad. For who, me? No, for Mayushi. I don't get what she means. Maybe that's why Chris-chan doesn't want to change the past. She nods to herself with a bright smile. Oh, I just thought of something. Can you time leap into the future? Maybe, but there wouldn't be a point. Kurisu and I reached that conclusion yesterday. The memories you send overwrite the memories at your destination. If you sent your memories 1 week into the future, then the future you would lose 1 week of memories. That's just King Crimson. The whole point of our time leap machine is to affect past events. You don't need to worry about the future. Besides, you're less likely to reach the future than you are the past. And that's because the future is inherently unpredictable. For example, do you think you'll have the same phone number for all eternity? How should I know? Exactly my point. And remember, pagers became obsolete with the advent of cell phones. Similarly, our phones may be replaced by some other device in the future. In order for the time leap to succeed, the target you must have a phone whose number you know. As long as that condition is met, there should never be a problem with setting the destination. The real problem is what inside the phone wave, named subject to change, is acting as the lifter. Until we figure that out, we can't reproduce the discharge phenomenon at will. The phone wave, named subject to change, will remain incomplete. On the other hand, if we can figure it out, we'll have an endless source of electrons that, unlike CERN's, needs no tuning. I'm exhilarated. The phone wave, named subject to change, is evolving by the day. Our invention of the time leap machine will put us light years ahead of CERN. Time travel will finally become a reality. I can't wait to try it out. My soul yearns for the taste of chaos. I barely managed to keep from bursting out in mad laughter. Come to think of it, more than 1 week has passed since we sent the first email. And although there was that strange threatening email, there remains no sign of Men in Black coming to haul us away. According to Daru, CERN hasn't discovered our hacking either. The next problem is what will happen if we use the time leap machine. In order to compress a human's entire wealth of memory into the requisite 36 bytes, we have to borrow the LHC's black hole. I can't believe that CERN won't notice an unauthorized activation of the LHC. How do we keep them from finding us? We need a plan. Oh, I guess I can't go back to grade school, can I? I didn't have a phone back then. Mayuri's still thinking about the time leap. You want to go back to your elementary school days? Hehehe. I know exactly how you feel. If you repeat elementary school with the knowledge you have now, you'll get top grades and have an easy time bending children to your will. You know, I thought maybe I could see Grandma again. I see. I'm afraid that's not possible. Mayuri's grandmother passed away when Mayuri was in elementary school. Yeah, it's too bad. But I guess I don't really need to see her. I still remember her words, her smile, and her wrinkly hand patting my head. So even if I don't see her again, I'm okay. What I really want to see is little Okadine again. Back then, I was already a scientist without equal. A titan towering above the other children. You can hardly be blamed for desiring to meet the child prodigy who would one day be feared as the great mad scientist Hoenn Kiyoma. I don't want to meet Hoenn's what's-his-face. I want to meet Okadine. I am Hoenn Kiyoma. Always have been, always will be. Mayuri just doesn't get it. So I disregard her comment. Anyway, there's no point. You haven't matured at all since that time, so nothing would change if you went back to elementary school anyway. Hey, that's not true. Mayushi's all grown up now. The only thing that's grown is how much you eat. And your breast size. That's not true. Mayushi's a real woman now. A real woman? I kind of want to hear the details, but she probably doesn't know what she's talking about. Besides, I think Okadine's the one who hasn't changed since then. Isn't that what I said? Isn't that what I said? I was already a mad scientist when you met me. Ah ha ha ha. The shopkeeper shoots me a glare. I guess this isn't the best place for maniacal laughter. Better get those parts and head back to the lab. We finish our shopping and come out in front of the station. Your flight is non-existent? Where are you going again? We finish our shopping and come out in front of the station. Salt Lake City. Where's that again? What? By the way, Mayuri, have you not been working recently? Working? You mean at Lemoyne? Of course. May Queen plus non-squared doesn't exist in the current wholesome Akiba. Utah, okay. Kamiwa's coming up, so I'm taking a few days off. I've got costumes to make. How many costumes are you making this year? 3. One for Kaede-chan. One for Fubuki-chan, and there's one for Luka-chan. Yo, Kaede. Who are these? Who are Kaede and Fubuki? I wonder if Lukaku is still refusing to wear it. I can hardly blame him. I mean, however cute he looks, he's still a guy. Cosplay friends, I guess. Haven't we already been over that she's a girl now? No, wait, that was before we sent the email. Now Lukaku's a girl, I guess. How confusing. Ah, it's Moeka-san. What? I look where Mayuri's pointing and see Moeka squatting by the staircase, staring hard at her cell phone. She looks more tired than the last time I saw her. There are bags under her eyes and her hair is frayed. The intensity of her expression makes me hesitate to call out to her. She'll probably just ignore me like before. On the other hand, she is a lab mem. I can't just ignore her. Hey! Finger! Why the long face, eh? Oh, sorry about that. Doo-doo-doo! Moeka-san, what are you doing here? Moeka doesn't look up. She mutters something that I can't make out. Hey, are you listening? If you have a problem, the insane mad scientist Ho and Kyoma will gladly assist. But be warned, by the time I'm through, Akiba will be an ocean of blood. Hehehe. Moeka suddenly jerks upright as if poked with an electric prod. She lifts her head and stares at me with wide eyes, then jumps to her feet and walks right up to me. This is the first time I've seen Moeka express such emotion. What is it? What's wrong? She doesn't speak. That hasn't changed. Instead, she looks down and starts typing on her phone. Guess I should be ready for a mail. What happened to the time machine? What do you mean, what happened? Are you still using it? Did you figure out how it works? We don't fully understand it yet. We're in the middle of upgrading it. It's amazing. This time we might even be able to time leap. What's a time leap? Tell me more. Don't write anything about it, otherwise we'll have to expel you from the lab. Moeka shakes her head violently. I guess she won't write an article. Our hacking of CERN has uncovered a new possibility for the phone wave, named subject to change. It's a form of time travel made possible by borrowing CERN's equipment. This discovery will begin a new age of human civilization. No longer will men be slaves to time. Any future you desire can be yours. And history will record that we, the future gadget laboratory, changed the world forever. Okurin. That was really confusing. You lost Mayushi. How can you not be moved by my speech? I'm talking about becoming legends here. Moeka bites her lip and types out a mail in irritation. Then she grabs my arm and digs her fingernails. It hurts. Unhand me! But Moika does not listen. What's a time leap? Time leap is a way to send your memories to the past. We found a way to make that possible. Soon we will complete the machine and become the undisputed lords of time.
Okadin came up with the idea and Chris-chan told us how to do it. Daru-kun's helping, and Mayushi and Okadin are shopping.
Moika suddenly releases me. Her eyes are blank, unfocused. She squats down on the spot, just as we found her. She seems entirely drained of energy and will.
Are you okay, Moika-san? You feel sick?
That's amazing. You made a real breakthrough. Congratulations. When will it be finished? I can't be sure. There are still several problems remaining. If you don't give us too much trouble, I guess we'll have it done in a week. On the other hand, we can't do anything until they're solved. Everything is the choice of Steins Gate. I have faith there exists a path to success. And once the door is opened, the chaos for which I have so longed shall at last descend upon the earth. Trumpets will sound from the highest heaven, and the final battle of Ragnarok will begin.
Who are you fighting, Okadin?
The organization, of course. Their rule must end once and for all.
Wow. Don't do anything dangerous, okay?
Why does Mayuri insist on worrying about me? Oh? Moika's lips curve into a smile. She rises to her feet unsteadily, and staggers off into the crowd. It's like she's forgotten about us completely. Mayuri and I can only watch her go. There's an indescribable aura about her that holds us back.
What do you think is wrong with Moika-san?
I've known she was kind of strange ever since I met her, but this... Maybe she's an escaped mental patient or something. Heh. Not that her insanity can possibly compare to mine. For I desire nothing less than total and absolute chaos. Wah! Wah! Wah!
Wow, now Okadin's acting weird. Mayushi's worried.
Mayushi looks scared, so I cease my maniacal laughter a few minutes earlier than planned. A few minutes earlier? Afterward, Mayuri and I go our separate ways. She apparently has to deliver a costume to her friend Fubuki. When I return to the lab with my spoils of war, something surprising, though not too surprising, come to think of it, catches my eye.
Ah.
Large-lunged lad. Kadisu is on the computer. As soon as she notices I've returned, she quickly closes the window on the screen.
Hey, think you could knock?
This isn't your room. Besides, I'd have to be a fool to knock. There could be assassins lying in ambush.
Assassins? Here? Are you stupid?
Anyway, Christina, what were you looking at just now, I already know the answer, of course. I caught a glimpse of the screen before she closed it.
I was doing research.
Looks like she plans to continue this charade. I drop my bags and go to the computer.
Stay back.
I slip past Kurisu's blocking arms and restore the minimized window.
Got a problem? Hey. What's with this? What's with that? This is awful, raffle laughter.
Have no fear, Christina. Or should I call you @Channeler Chris?
Don't call me that.
I already knew. That's right. I realized long ago that you were an @Channeler. You can't hide it from me. You reek of @Channel corruption.
How rude. I make sure to apply like perfume every day.
Fool! That's not what I meant. I'm talking about the scent of your soul.
My soul? What is that supposed to mean? Explain.
Why? Why? So you can learn how to hide it.
Shut up. Just explain already.
There's nothing to explain. You use that channel memes in conversation. I'd have to be stupid not to notice.
Feels bad, man.
That's a Nat channel meme too.
Ugh.
Your soul is tainted with the essence of that channel. You cannot hide it. Not in such close proximity to another who uses that channel memes in actual conversation. Your souls resonate.
That's it. It's all Hashidi's fault.
But it's cute how you tried to hide it. @channeler Chris.
Don't call me that.
She glares at me hard. If looks could kill, she has no sense of humor at all. I should be more careful in the future. But I don't understand. You were raised in America, so how are you so familiar with that channel?
You can browse @channel from America. Need I say more?
Ah, I get it. Living in an English-only environment made you hungry for Japanese. But did you have to resort to @channel? I mean, if you believe the pseudo-intellectuals in the media, browsing @channel is like reading scribbles on the bathroom wall.
Sure, it's not the friendliest place, but I couldn't find anywhere that felt more Japanese. Anyway, can I ask a favor?
What is it? Felicia turns away and mumbles something. But her voice is so low I can't make it out. Yeah, if you have something to say, say it. Felicia turns bright red, but her sullen expression doesn't change.
Don't tell anyone else about this.
What difference does it make? That is the most hardcore @channeler who ever lived. And Mayuri is an otaku too. Even I browse @channel regularly. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Just boldly write hobbies, browsing @channel on your resume.
Not a chance, you idiot.
What, you mean you'd rather post anchors on VIP? To link to a specific post on a message board, usually as a reply. On @channel, this is done by typing post number. Sometimes people engage in anchor play, a game where a poster leaves a decision to whoever posts the indicated post number. Usually chosen 20 to 30 posts beforehand. For example, post number 1000 gets to have named my firstborn. Your flight got delayed to midnight? Jeez. @channeler's newsflash VIP board. Although ostensibly for the discussion of news stories. Although ostensibly for the discussion of news stories, it is currently dominated by idle chat threads.
Gah. I hate myself for understanding those words.
Well, whatever. If it'll help you focus on the time leap machine, I'll keep your secret from now. Besides, it's just a matter of time before you make another mistake and reveal your true colors. It was originally 9:03. Oh. How does it get delayed 3 hours?
You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about me. Remember that I represented my entire laboratory when we presented our research. Even though there were men twice my age on the report.
Guess you're here for the whole stream? I got him. I delayed your plane. So you have to watch my stream.
I'm an expert at dealing with people. I have no trouble keeping it a secret.
Nolpo. An old at-channel turn. First scene. First seen on the programming board in 2003. Nolpo is short for null pointer exception, which is an error seen in the Java programming language. When someone announces Nolpo, the correct response is to smack them on the head and say "Gah."
Gah! No!
Caduceus' face gets even redder, and then she falls to her hands and knees in defeat. Ors. An ideograph depicting a person in all fours. Oh, right. O is the head, R is the arms and torso, and Z is the feet. Typically used to express despair, dejection, or frustration. There's no set way to pronounce it. Many people pronounce it as orts, ors, or ors. Just as I thought. That channel is in her blood and bones. She doesn't have a prayer. As night fell, we tried to activate the phone wave. Name subject to change. Again, but as expected, the discharge did not occur. That was the worst yawn noise. True ending is OTZ. Change my mind. I got him. Ooh. Gross. Mayushi has at her sewing machine, putting some finishing touches on a costume. She got back earlier this evening, after delivering a different costume to her friend Fubuki-chan. She's been working on this costume ever since. Come to think of it, she usually heads home around 7 or 8. But today she's still hard at work. Looks at Tanner's abomination. Marty, you're a freak! Marty, go home before it gets too late. Your parents will worry.
It's okay. I'm gonna stay the night.
Really? She's never done that before.
Yep. I already told Mom and Dad.
Are you staying to work on your costume?
It won't be done in time for Kamiwa if I don't.
I'm surprised your parents let you stay. I've met her parents any number of times. They're as ditzy as Mayuri. But still, I don't think they'd appreciate their underage daughter staying overnight in this dirty lab. It must be my overwhelming charisma. No wait, that makes me sound like a good person. So it can't be that. Of course. Mayuri's parents are so afraid of my insanity that they sent me their only daughter as a hostage. Reported. Oh wait. Reported. Wait. Reported. Kurisu calls out from the development room. She's been tinkering with the phone wave, name subject to change. But I guess she was listening.
What would you do if I called the cops on you?
I unleashed my right arm on traitors, Christina.
Yeah, Chunibyo. Whatever. I told Mom and Dad that Chris-chan would be here. Then they said okay.
Wait, so I have to stay too?
Yep. Don't you have to work on the phone wave? I guess.
But I don't relish the thought of spending the night here. At least not with a certain somebody around. Environment matters, Christina. This is a place of science and research. So you should have no trouble concentrating on your work. Trust the great Hoenn Kyoma. Also, it may surprise you to learn that I have equipped this lab with a system that stimulates brain function. So if you're wondering where my incredible genius comes from, now you know. It's because I sleep in this room every night. This stimulation system of yours, I assume it's been dumping toxic waste in your brain? You sound like an environmentalist. You sound like an environmentalist, zombie. Time to go play upside down Sudoku. Yo, I'm down. That's like my favorite pastime.
Ah, Mayushi knows. You're talking about that, right?
Jisoo comes out of the development room to check what Mayuri's pointing at.
This air freshener?
Is Mayushi okay? Tell her to have fun at Kamima for me. I don't think I can go this year. I just don't have the energy. I'm completely burned out. I can hear a voice shouting, "Get up, Joe." Someone save me, the world is collapsing.
Ogaden said the smell makes you smarter. He bought it at Akibao. When was that?
About 6 months ago. It was on sale for 500 yen.
I'm starting to think that even you don't believe the stuff you say. And besides, this air freshener's empty.
Yeah, when I went to buy replacement packs, they already stopped selling them.
Well, whatever. I was planning to stay either way. I'll join you, Mayuri-san. Really? That's great.
On one condition. Okabe leaves. Me leave? I practically live here. This lab was promised to me by Steins. It's a dwelling place of my soul.
We girls are staying here overnight. See a filthy boy isn't to show you respect. Your home isn't even far from here, right? Ogaden lives close to Mayushi, in Ikebukuro. Why, that's less than 30 minutes by train. Anyway, I'm not gonna need your help tonight, so just go home like a good boy, okay?
But I refuse.
What? What, are you planning to molest us?
Shut up, Mongolian spot.
I don't have a Mongolian spot. And when did you see my butt anyway?
I can't leave you two girls here alone. Minors need guardians.
But Ogaden's a minor too.
I'll be 20 in less than a year and a half. In other words, Steins has decided that I'm an adult.
I'm pretty sure that makes you a minor just like us. Chris-chan, I don't think Ogaden would do anything bad. I mean, we've been together for more than 10 years. And he hasn't, well... and he hasn't molested me once. But he took you hostage, didn't he? Yep. Actually, I'm still his hostage.
We should kick him out of the room. Huh. I sigh deeply and place a hand on my forehead. You disappoint me, Christina. This lab is a place of science. We're above such petty concerns as sex. If you must speak of those vulgarities, then I'll have to ask you and your Mongolian spot to leave. Looks like that was enough to convince Kurisu. She gives me a fine gesture as she returns to the development room. Ah. So Christina does really have a birthmark on her, but... No! After working on the phone wave, name subject to change, for about an hour, I head to a convenience store to buy dinner. Dado hasn't shown his face at all today. He must be busy with that part-time job. What time is it right now? You're eating dinner at like 10? I still don't know what he's doing exactly. Probably something that utilizes his super hacker skills. I just hope he steers clear of the law. While walking, I skim @channel on my phone. Tighter hasn't shown up lately. I think it's been a week since his last appearance. I've been reluctant to contact him ever since he called me the Messiah in his last email. That was about the same time he stopped posting. Now @channel's denizens are busy slandering Tighter. The majority of opinions is that he ran away. I wonder where Tighter went. I tried emailing him the other day, but he hasn't replied. His disappearance is especially worrying now that I think he might be Suzuha's dad. I need to contact him somehow. Just then a mail arrives. Oh, it's these guys again. You know too much. Oh. Does this resemble anyone in the game? That's like my first thought when I see this. Not that I can specifically think of. It feels as if a cold hand stroked my spine. I hug my shelf, shuddering at the sight. It resembles you IRL? That'd be terrifying. Is this still the same history where I got the other one from them? It is. With the gelatin. Also, hey BE. It's Carson? No! Carson, don't do it. I hug myself, shuddering at the sight. Rip and kill Carson. I delete the email immediately. Don't delete it. It's happening again. Did he actually delete it? Why'd you delete it? That was evidence. Why'd you not delete this one? This is bad. Really bad. This is a threat. Was it sent by the organization? By CERN? Does CERN know what we've been doing? Should I report it to the police? Wait, I can't. I just deleted it. Yeah, what the heck were you thinking? And in any case, a picture alone probably isn't enough to get the police involved. Still, maybe I should talk to someone. But who? Not the girls. I can't worry them with this. I'm the adult here after all. What about Moeka? No. She may be a lab mem, but she's acting weird lately. If I tell her about this, she won't be any use. Suzuha has her father to worry about. I guess that leaves Daru. I need to find out whether CERN has discovered our hacking. What would CERN do if they found out, I wonder? They wouldn't have us killed, would they? Send them a message saying, "Could you resend that message, please? I just deleted it on accident." Despite my efforts to convince myself that this is just a prank, my feet hurry me back to the lab. I burst into the lab, gasping for air, and quickly lock the door behind me. Finally, I can catch my breath. I have a bad feeling about this for some reason. But just then, I realize that something's wrong. Maedi and Kurisu aren't here. Ooh. They go home? No, their bags are still here. The lights are still on. The door. When I entered just now, it was unlocked. Would they be so careless? The memory of that threatening email fills me with fear. Don't tell me. Were they kidnapped? Who took them? The organization? CERN? And then I hear a noise. Is that the shower? The lab has a shower inside the dressing room. There's no bath. We can't afford such luxuries, and it's too small to fit more than one person inside. Now I hear the sound of water running. I recall the famous scene from Hitchcock's Psycho. No. Fresh blood mixing into the water and flowing down the drain. No. I don't know where that came from. Fresh blood mixing into the water and flowing down the drain. The corpses of two girls, sprawled out naked on the tile. The second those images flashed through my head, I slammed the door open to the shower room. Oh no! It's just gonna be one of them taking a shower and you just barging in. Is everyone okay? Oh no! Oh. Yeah. Yeah, what are you doing? Yeah. No peeking, Okarin. Through the steam, I see wet, naked bodies of the two girls. Mayuri squats down while Karisu bashfully twists her body, trying desperately to hide her unmentionables. No, don't report. No. Don't do it. Are their faces red because of the heat, or... Can we just, like, get out of this scene right now? Phew, you're still alive. I wipe the cold sweat off my brow and sigh deeply. Don't scare me like that. What are you guys doing packed in the way of that shower anyway? Kyushu shouts me a deadly glare. Get out, you perv. Whoa. Okay, we're out of there. Okay. I dodge a bar of soap aimed at my face, then quickly flee the dressing room. Ooh, well, I suppose that was all my fault.
Mayushi's sad. I feel kinda dirty. You're gonna regret this. I'll never forgive you.
Dang it. It was just a small misunderstanding. I mean, why the heck did they decide to take a shower together? Well, they knew I was coming right back. It's like they wanted to be seen. Kizu especially. After all that talk about not wanting to spend the night with me around, she sure dropped her guard awfully fast. They're just lucky it was me who walked in on them. What if it had been the organization? I thought he was about to say, what if it had been Daru? Oh my gosh, if it had been Daru? They need to get serious. We're fighting for our lives here. Nope! Don't flash back to it! By the way, I didn't see a Mongolian spot on Kreese's butt, naturally. Or, no? Okay, I thought I was about to flash back to it again. Anyway, how much longer are they going to shower? Looking at the clock, it's already been more than 15 minutes since I got back. Wait, so in this history... Rintaro has... Like, he basically molested Lukako, and then now he just did this. Like, oh my gosh. Like, in this history, Okabe is awful. It's already been more than 15 minutes since I got back. They were yelling at me a few minutes ago, but now I hear laughter and happy squeals coming from the shower room. Sounds like they're having a good time. They get along almost like sisters.
Wow, Christian, you're so slim. But Mayuri, your breasts are so big, I'm jealous.
They're checking each other out, aren't they? Mwahaha. No! Stop! In my head, wet hair, soapy skin, ground full textures hidden by complete face steam. Oh! I put the phone to my ear. It's me. We have a problem. I'm under attack from the Mongolian spot and Ditzy sisters. They're going directly after my sanity. A bold move against the insane mad scientist Hoa and Kyoma. This is the strongest offensive I've counted so far. I realize now that vulnerability itself can be a powerful weapon. They're pulling out all the stops, and I don't think my pants can take it. Ugh. Give in to the temptation? Nonsense. I could never do that. They're fellow lab members. My loyal assistant and my childhood friend. Must I? Is it truly the will of Steins that I give in? Did I raise my hand against my closest companions? If so, then how cruel their fates be. El Sai Kunguru. After a moment to collect myself, I put away my phone. I need some air. 2 days have passed since Kurisu and Mayuri came to stay. During that time, Daru and I have done our best to support Kurisu's work on the phone wave. Name subject to change. According to Daru, it should be easy to use the LHC to generate black holes for our use. The black holes form at the proton collision point, where the lifter is installed and exists for only a few seconds before evaporating. Now this is a banger right here. Holy crap. During those few seconds, CERN throws a human into the singularity. We'll use those few seconds too. The gravity of the black hole compresses matter to infinite density. CERN uses the lifter to keep the compression under control, but we don't want that. We're gonna dial CERN's lifter down. Not so much that it endangers the world, of course, but enough to compress our memory data to under 36 bytes. Daru has been coding the necessary program. As for me, I've been searching for a lifter, the unknown device that pumps electrons into the phone wave. Name subject to change and keeps our black hole open. This is the same song as my call ringtone? Is it? Kurisu couldn't find anything that could serve as a lifter inside the microwave, so it must be something on the outside. We're not sure what it could be, and so far we have no idea where to start looking. Yesterday I consulted Daru about that threatening email. Well, I know it's a remix of whatever, but it's a good remix. I think this is a remix of the title theme. Title screen theme. But Daru insisted that there's no way CERN could have discovered this hacking yet. Of course, I made him make doubly sure we haven't been tracked. His tests came back clean. I understand he's confident in his skills, and I trust him. If Daru says they haven't found out, then they haven't. But somehow, knowing that does not ease my anxiety. Yeah, with that text we got? It's Friday, and although we haven't solved the lifter problem, Kurisu is just about done with the time leap machine. Have you gone to any festivals or fireworks shows this summer? Maybe you have plans to go with Mayuri-chan later. Yes, I did 22 practice swings with Sademare. Naturally, that means it's time for her to give me something else to worry about. For the final adjustments, we need to use the phone wave. I groan. In other words, we have to cause the electrical discharge phenomenon. There's a risk involved. A risk called Mr. Braun. As we know, the discharge phenomenon causes the entire building to shake. Last time, Mr. Braun threatened to raise our rent if it happened again. Kurisu and Daru look at me. It's up to you, Okurin. Take care of it. In other words, you're sending me to die. Your sacrifice will allow us to complete the time leap machine. Just kill Mr. Braun. There you go. Besides, you're always the one who talks to the boss for us. Well, maybe it's time for you to put your lives on the line. Speedrun strats, kill Mr. Braun. I can't. That girl who works there hates me. Fine, but hear this. I will not die. Like the immortal phoenix, I will return. No matter how many times it takes. With that said, I head down to handle things with Mr. Braun. Don't die, okay? As I pass through the lounge, Mayuri looks up from her costume to see me off. They're all here. When I step in the store, Mr. Braun, Suzuha, and the Chipmunk are watching some comedy show on the massive 42-inch CRT. Watching TV at noon without a customer in sight. Looks like business as usual in the Braun Tube workshop. BLJ to the past, where you didn't kill them. Sup, Okabe and Taro? I'll raise my hand in response to Suzuha's greeting. The Chipmunk, Nae, quickly hides behind her father when she sees me. I see her as busy as ever. Okabe, buy a CRT. No thanks. I'm not some kind of retro TV otaku. I'd rather buy an LCD. I look around the store as I answer. Huh? I just thought of something. Like CERN's Large Hadron Collider, the phone wave, named subject to change, must have some kind of electron feed to keep the black hole open. CERN calls this feed the lifter. We still haven't figured out what that was, what that is, nor it could be acting as a substitute lifter in our time machine. What if our lifter is somewhere in this shop? Whatever it is must be in close proximity to the phone wave, named subject to change. It couldn't work otherwise, and the Braun Tube workshop is located directly below the lab. Why are we talking to Braun? Because they're about to do the experiment. Like, they're about to mess around with the discharge phenomenon, so it's gonna shake up the building, so he's gotta talk to Mr. Braun about it. Be like, hey, is it fine if we do this or something? Could our lifter be a CRT? Finding the lifter? No. He's only bringing this up now. He's just throwing the possibility out that the lifter might be down here. But I'm down here now because we're talking to Mr. Braun. You've been having a lot of girls over lately, haven't you? Just the usual members. I was over the other day. My life has no meaning. It's all gone now. No one will look at me. Not anymore. What can I do? Even if I shout, no one can hear. My voice can't reach the one most important to me. I walk alone through dusty gray streets, forever pounded by lukewarm rain. Such is the fate of the defeated. Still, Fadus is here. Someone find me. What chuny nonsense. If you want attention, come to the lab. Mayuri and I are here for you. Who's Joe? A Joe star. Might be next time, huh? I want to talk to some young girls for a change.
Daddy, that's dirty.
No, it isn't. It's, marketing. Yeah, I'm looking for new customers. Check out this scary-looking guy. Trying to desperately explain himself to his daughter. Hilarious.
What do you mean for a change? You talk to me every day.
You're not young. Suzu has the same age as Daru and I, which makes her older than Mayuri or Kurisu.
Did you say something, Okabe and Taro?
Only the truth. Hey, your father's happy as long as he has you, okay?
Yeah, I know. But don't say anything.
This is such a hard voice.
But don't say dirty things anymore, okay?
It's a promise. Then he joins Pinkies with his daughter. Dang, Mr. Braun. You're way off character. How does a guy like him produce a daughter like that? Nae is one of the kindest, cutest, gentlest girls I've ever met. I don't know why she's so afraid of me, though. Anyway, I came here to explain the buildings... Wait. To explain that the building's about to shake. How do I avoid having my head ripped off? How many more earthquakes do you think this building can handle? No, that's way too obvious. An earthquake's coming. My magic eye, reading Steiner, has seen it in the future. Escape while you still can. Yeah, that might work.
Hey, did she and Mayuri stay over yesterday?
Yeah?
So, Makise Kurisu stayed too?
Yeah, they're both upstairs.
Oh,
Suzuha's hostility toward Kurisu hasn't abated. And how are you doing?
huh?
Are you feeling better?
Oh yeah, I guess. The search continues.
Huh? What's this about, part-timer?
I'm searching for my dad. I told you before, remember?
Alright. Go find her old man, Okabe. Why does he think he can boss me around? Huh. Naturally. Naturally. Suzuha's a fellow lab member. Leave it to us. Suzuha looks at me with a smile that shines through the gloom filling the store.
Okabe and Taro, we're the same age, but sometimes you seem a lot older. You really know how to give people strength.
That's the first time anyone said that to me. Makes me feel kinda happy. Heh. Of course. I am the great Hoenn Kyoma. Chipmunk cowers in terror as I unveil my madness. I can see tears pooling in her eyes. I guess my aura is just too powerful for a grade school girl to endure. Okabe, next time you scare Nae, I'll kill you. Sorry.
Come here a second.
Suzuha takes my arm and leads me away from the Tenojis, who have gone back to watching TV.
I just want to say, be circumspect with your dealings with Makise Kurisu.
What? Circumspect? Why can't you just say careful like a normal person? Not that I'm one to talk. This again? Aren't you just being paranoid? Suzuha shakes her head firmly.
No.
Wait.
Her perniciousness has been proven.
Perniciousness? Is she saying Kurisu is dangerous? There's something strange about the way Suzuha is talking, and it's not just her fondness for uncommon words. There's something else. Something...
Her genius is a threat. At heart, she only cares about her experiments.
Suzuha's eyes are hard, and her voice is cold as ice. I can tell that she means every word she says.
Listen to me. She's using you all. Makise Kurisu is connected to CERN.
What? No, that's impossible. CERN is our enemy. If Daru's hacking is discovered, I'll have no doubt they'll do everything in their power to destroy us.
How can Kurisu be connected to CERN?
You're saying she's a spy? Suzuha nods firmly.
The credit for inventing the time machine was hers.
Again, Suzuha's words sound strange to my ears, but I still can't place my finger on why.
Don't let your guard down.
I don't believe it. I saw Kurisu's anger when she learned what CERN had been doing. She called their actions a betrayal of scientists everywhere. How could someone with such a pure love for science be connected to CERN? But what if what Suzuha says is true? Oh! Could she be the one who sent that threatening email? I suspected Moeka, but...
Yeah.
Suddenly the ground starts to shake. I'm pretty sure that was more so Lukako's voice than Nei's voice, but whatever. Kirisu starting the experiment? But I haven't talked to Mr. Braun yet. Dang, it's too soon.
Okabe!
Sure enough, veins on Mr. Braun's forehead swell in response to the shaking.
How many times do I have to tell you to not shake the building? Cute girls or no, I ain't letting you off. Your rent's going up.
Wait, Mr. Braun. This isn't our doing. It's an earthquake. My magic eye reading Steiner predicted this would happen.
An earthquake? You think I'd fall for that?
The shaking gets more intense, knocking over a CRT.
Braun Tubechan. No.
Crap, I can't talk my way out of this one.
Okabe, you jerk.
Mr. Braun clearly wants to snap my neck like a twig, but he elects to protect his greatest treasure. The 42-inch CRT instead. His greatest treasure isn't his daughter? Is that what you're implying right here, game? He grabs the remote and switches it off, then grabs the hold of the TV and hangs on for dear life.
Oof. Ooh.
Ah. Is it over?
Looks like it.
Wait. It's over? I carefully step through the rubble and take the remote from the dazed Mr. Braun's hand. I press the red power button. The 42-inch CRT instantly comes to life. I stare at the image on the screen and smile. Heh. Heh heh heh. What's wrong?
Mwahaha. Mwahaha. Mwahaha.
I've done it! I've done it! This is the lifter! It's so obvious. Why didn't I see it before? Of course. This must be the work of Steins Gate. It shows this moment for a reason.
What the heck are you laughing about, Okabe? You're scaring my daughter. I'm raising your rent, you hear? And you're paying for that CRT.
A little silence, please, Mr. Ron. This is the most glorious moment. For I have just been chosen as the ruler of all space and time.
Ah ha 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 ha. Oh. Good.
Stars explode behind my eyes, as Mr. Braun drives his fist into the top of my head. The world spins. I struggle to get a hold of my shaking brain. You dare lay your hands on the great...
Got something to say?
Well then, Mr. Braun, put it on my tab. With that, I fly out of the workshop. I rub my head. It hurts like heck. Dang that Mr. Braun. Did he really have to crack me so hard? Maybe I should report him for assault. Thanks to his brutality, I had to make a strategic retreat. Fortunately, I did not emerge empty-handed. The extra 10,000 yen a month will hurt, but in exchange, I have acquired the information essential to the success of my plan.
All's well that ends well. Ah ha 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 ha.
Oh, Karin. The building just shook. Are you okay? Mayuri and Kurisu appear in the second-story window. Looks like you really are unkillable. I have seen the future, Christina. In 3 minutes, you'll be on your knees praising my greatness. I don't think so. I've run up the stairs. How could you miss something so obvious? When I tell Kurisu about the 42-inch CRT downstairs, that is her first reaction. Why are you blaming me? I'm not blaming you. I'm just disappointed that nobody, including myself, noticed.
We missed the forest for the trees.
To summarize, just now when the phone wave, named subject to change, shook the building, the 42-inch CRT was on. But when Mr. Braun turned the TV off, the shaking stopped immediately. The discharge was interrupted. I put a banana in just to be sure. Nothing happened.
I'm glad. We shouldn't waste food.
Nobody replies to Mayuri's off-point statement. We're busy reading about cathode ray tubes on the internet. It doesn't take long before we find something interesting. A cathode ray tube is a component called an electron gun, which uses extreme heat and a strong electrical field to accelerate electrons and turn them into a beam. The area where an electric field force has influence. For example, rubbing a balloon and putting it close to your head makes your hair rise due to the influence of the resulting static electric field. Man. I've gotten a lot of these. The electron beam striking the TV's phosphor layer is what generates the picture. An electron gun could certainly work as a lifter. We found the answer. The electrons emitted by the 42-inch CRT are holding the phone wave's black hole open. And the discharge phenomenon is a result.
So the reason we can't use a phone wave at night is because Braun 2 Workshop's closed?
The Braun 2 Workshop doesn't have especially strict business hours, but it's usually open from around 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. That matches up perfectly with my observation that the phone wave, named subject to change, only works between noon and 6. The few instances it hasn't worked during that time frame can be explained by the TV being off. But how can a cathode ray tube emit such a strong electron stream? It's not about having a strong electron stream. If stronger were better, CERN would have solved the lifter problem long ago. I see. So it can't be too strong or too weak. By freak coincidence, the 42-inch CRT's electric gun appears to have exactly the right level of electron discharge. That's the only explanation. Somehow, the conditions here were perfect to create a time machine. Frankly, it's a miracle. No, Christina, not a miracle. This is the choice of Steins Gate. Rather than glare at me like she has so many times in the past, Kurisu shoots me an exasperated smile. Whatever it is, it worked. Mari looks up from her costume with a question in her eyes.
So, what do we have to do to complete the super phone wave, Chan? Now that we found the cause, there's nothing left to hold us back. We can safely conclude that time leading is possible when, and only when, the television is on.
We should probably test it, right? And there's still the final check of the phone wave to do.
You're right, Okabe.
What?
Go downstairs and turn the TV back on.
Ha. That's hilarious, Christina. Allow me to dub that Mission Impossible. I'm not going back down there. My head still hurts from last time. Next time, I doubt I'll make it out alive.
Whatever. Just go already.
Kurisu orders me with a sour look. It's like I'm the assistant here.
If anyone can do it, it's you. You made an amazing discovery just now, didn't you?
Assistant mine. Have you finally recognized my greatness as a mad scientist?
No.
Ah.
Dang, that was harsh.
Oh, whoops. I was supposed to flatter him? I was supposed to flatter him so he'd feel like going, right? Yes, you're an amazing mad scientist.
It's too late.
Anyway, now that we found the lifter, the time leap machine is 99% complete.
Kurisu's expression suddenly turned serious, but I can see the hunger in her eyes and the flush of excitement on her cheeks. She knows that we stand on the threshold of a new age in science, and she cannot resist the lure of the unknown. She's a true scientist, no doubt about it.
It's your dream, isn't it? To invent a time machine?
Our dream. I've never really thought about it that way, but she's right. My hands are shaking. Not from fear of Mr. Braun, but from excitement. I will become the undisputed Lord of Time. With that power, I shall shatter the system, and chaos will rule the... Okabe. Kisu interrupts my speech. I wasn't asking Hoenn Kyoma, I was asking Okabe. She spears me with her gaze. I meet it head on. After a few moments, I feel my mouth curve into a smile. I'll do it. Leave it to me. With that, I head downstairs. A cracked skull and an empty wallet are a small price to pay for science. Kurisu and Daru send me off with applause for some reason. Mayuri is the only one who looks worried, but I pat her head in reassurance. When I get downstairs, Suzuha and the Chipmunk are sitting side by side on the bench outside. Sup? Naya gives me a quick bow, then hides behind Suzuha. That shaking upstairs put the boss in a bad mood. Naya and I are waiting it out. Dang, now I really don't want to go in there. When Mayor is the only smart one.
Are you okay? That hit you pretty hard.
I'll have you know that my brain is more valuable than the Mona Lisa. Your father may have set humanity back 100 years by wiping out my brain cells. Such a regrettable loss. Suzuha clasps her hands in solemn prayer. Ugh, I'm not dead, just my brain cells.
I'm sorry. Daddy did something bad.
Chipmunk, what a gentle heart you have. I can't believe she's Mr. Braun's daughter. I suppose I share some of the blame. Your father and I are even. Nice smiles slightly at my words of comfort. Now then, part-time warrior, I have a request of you. I need you to distract Mr. Braun for about 5 seconds. Suzuha's eyes start to shine. You mean seduce him? She flexes her bicep for some reason. Go on, touch it. She insists, so I poke it. It's just as hard as her confidence suggests. Why are you getting so hype about that, Brent? She's probably stronger than me. But I don't understand what flexing has to do with seduction. Nobody said anything about seduction. Doesn't matter how you do it. I'm not much of a warrior if I can't handle that. Besides, you said you'd help with... Besides, you said you'd help me search for my father, right? I'm only returning the favor. I see. Its true festivals are very crowded. I was hoping I might run into you at one, but I guess the chances of that are pretty slim to begin with. Now, it's not like I go to the festival it's not like I go to every festival. Please don't misunderstand. P.S. I only did 5 practice swings with Satomare. Samidare. I see. Then I leave it in your capable hands.
Okie dokie. Suzuha, don't be mean to Daddy, okay? Uh-huh. Don't worry, I won't be mean.
Indeed. I want to complain that he's the one being mean. But I just said we were even, so I refrain.
Wait here, Nai.
The chipmunk nods. When we enter the store, we find Mr. Braun cleaning up the pieces of the broken CRT. When our eyes meet, another vein pops on his forehead.
If you came to apologize, I'll listen. But your rent's going up, understand?
I'm sorry about what happened. I overreacted. As a token of my apology, the lab's representative, Amane Suzuha, would like to present you with a gift.
Boss, get ready.
With a vigorous shout, which in no way seems appropriate for seduction, Suzuha whips off her jacket and...
Yeah.
throws it into Mr. Braun's face.
Whoa!
I can see your bra. No, wait, that's not a bra, but a tight tank top that leaves her midriff bare. Yeah, Suzuha shows no signs of embarrassment and she rushes Mr. Braun. She slips behind him, grabs her coat, and pulls it tight against his face. What the heck?
Okay, and Taro, now's your chance. Now wait just a second. Is this your idea of seduction? It looks like you're trying to suffocate him. Hurry.
Mr. Braun flails his arms, trying to escape Suzuha's restraint. There's a huge difference in strength between the two. It's only a matter of time before he shakes Suzuha off. Well done, warrior. Your heroism will be remembered. Realizing that the only choice is to go for it, I dash to the counter, grab the remote, and switch on the 42-inch CRT. After about 2 seconds, an image appears on the giant screen. At the same time, the ceiling starts shaking. Kurisu activated the phone wave, name subject to change with perfect timing.
It's shaking again. Okay, and Taro, what's going on?
Did she really take off her clothes without knowing why? You're a lifesaver, part-time warrior. If you can't, keep him restrained for 10 more seconds. During that time, I escaped from the store. Outside, Nae is following earthquake drill procedure, crouching while protecting her head. I ignore that and look up to the second floor. And at exactly the same time, Kurisu appears in the window and gives me a happy thumbs up. But a second later, she blushes, shoots me a glare, and disappears inside of it as if nothing happened. What's with her attitude? I'm risking my life here. In any case, the experiment was a success. The 42-inch CRT was the key, as expected. Now how do I explain this to Mr. Braun? I don't want him to kick us out of the building. Perhaps I shouldn't have left it to Suzuha. I timidly peek into the store to gauge the situation.
Come on, boss, give me back my jacket.
Suzuha's there, fidgeting with her inner tank top as Mr. Braun glares down at her.
Shut up. I'm confiscating this.
You pervert.
You're the pervert throwing your shirt in my face like some kind of dancer. That was kind of kinky. Gotta remember to thank Okabe after I kill him.
Bit kinky? Don't say things like that, it's gross.
Anyway, you can work like that for the rest of the day. Go stand out front and use that flat tummy of yours to attract customers.
I'll tell Nae on you.
Huh. Who's she gonna believe? You or her old man?
Dang.
No problems here. Suzuha's seduction strategy worked, I guess. Mr. Braun, what a guy. A little while later, I'm lying on a sofa, watching high school baseball. Kumamoto and Aichi are locked in a fierce struggle for the playoffs. Just then, the click-clack of the sewing machine in the lounge suddenly stops.
Ocarine, can you come here?
She motions to me while holding the costume. What does she want? I walk over to her.
Can you hold this for me? Spread it out like flap.
Aishi, say fwap again.
Flap.
I got a fwap.
Stop already! Stop it already, perv! I follow Mayuri's directions and spread the costume out by the sleeves. She inspects it from a few paces away. It's hard to believe, given her usual ditziness, but Mayuri is very serious about her art. That's why cosplayers value her costume so highly. The costume I'm holding now is custom made for Lukaku. I thought Lukaku was against it, but I guess Mayuri managed to persuade her.
Okay, thanks.
Mayuri looks tired. She's been working all night. But that doesn't dim the brightness of her satisfied smile.
Finished.
Is it done?
Yep. I finished before Chris-chan. We were racing. You win, Mayuri. Congratulations.
Dang you, assistant. She treats me and Daru like garbage, but Mayuri gets the sisterly touch.
Actually, I'm just about finished too.
Kurisu connects the two cords she's holding.
Done.
Celebration is in order. But nobody cheers.
It's a tie.
Man, I'm tired. I want Fadey's time to comfort me.
Honestly, I don't feel like cheering either. And it's not because I'm tired. We worked around the clock for 3 straight days to finish the time leap machine. But now that it's complete, I realize that part of me never truly believed it would happen. I feel my enthusiasm cooling rapidly. The fire quenched by one stark question. What do we do with it? I look at Kurisu. She too seems less than enthused.
We may have created a monster here.
Wait, no, that was the wrong voice.
We may have created a monster here.
That was Suzuha for some reason. I don't know where she came from. I look at the improved phone wave. Name subject to change again. The biggest change is the headgear attached to the X68000. It looks like something out of a low-budget cyberpunk movie. Fortunately, we don't need any nerve jacks or brain chips for it to work. You just put it on and let the sensors do the rest. Why don't we decide what to call it first? I vote Heavenly Express.
Phone Wave 3rd edition version 1.00.
Silly hat, Funwave-chan.
No consensus.
You guys have too much free time.
Does that mean you're abstaining from the vote?
Time leap machine.
That's terrible.
Come on. Simple is best, right? I mean, that's what Okabe's been calling it for the past 2 days.
Looks like my assistant has zero naming sense.
I don't want to hear that from a Chunibyo headcase like you.
Oh. So Maki says she knows the word Shunibyo. Since your otaku level is quite high.
I heard it from a friend. I have no idea where it comes from.
Ha! A bald-faced lie. She should just confess to being an at channeler. Kurisu meets my glint with an icy glare. It's up to you, Mayuri. Choose one. Whenever the lab is divided on a name, the right to decide belongs to Mayuri.
I think time leap machine is fine. Silly hat Funwave-chan is super close though.
Somehow I knew she'd say it.
that.
Like I said, simple is best. Mayuri gets it.
I want to object, but it's an unwritten rule not to complain once Mayuri's made a decision. Very well. Time leap machine it is. Assistant, explain for all of us how the time leap machine works. I know the basics, but I want to hear the details. Kurisu nods and stands in front of the whiteboard.
In short, this device converts memories to data and sends them to the past. Let's begin with what we all know. By freak coincidence, the phone wave is able to produce ring singularities, much like John Titor's time machine. Through the ring singularity, we are able to send up to 36 bytes of data into the past. The signal can only be received by phones. While it does limit the range of effect, it also removes an element of uncertainty from the equation. Unlike emails, memory data is sent from the form of a phone call, so we will be using a phone number, not an email address, to set the destination. The ring singularity is made naked and stable by a device known as a lifter. In our case, it's the 42-inch CRT downstairs. She explains the basics. Next, she'll explain the modifications she made to turn the phone wave, named subject to change, into a time leap machine. The phone wave now has the headgear attached. This headgear records time on the This headgear records the nerve impulses on the temporal lobe of the brain, specifically the CA3 region of the hippocampus, where memories are stored. Then, using VR technology, we encode the nerve impulses into electrical signal and data.
It comes out to approximately 3.24 terabytes.
3.24 terabytes. That's less than what I expected. We're talking about the entirety of a person's memories. By the way, we'll set it up so that the data decodes automatically after a certain amount of time. Anybody well versed in programming can do this. I had Hashida-san make the code. Anyway. You'll want to read before voice acting this stuff if you haven't already?
What do you mean?
Like, I'm paying attention as I'm reading it. Anyway, the next big science words and all, I'm fine. Anyway, next we send the memory data through the net to the LHC in France. This building has a direct line to CERN for some reason, so we can transfer data at insanely high speeds. How long does it take to send 3.24 terabytes of data?
We have 64 direct lines in parallel, so if we send it in 64 parts, it should upload in about 45 seconds.
That's pretty fast. Okay, I get what you're saying, Brent. Next, we hijack the LHC, create a mini black hole, and use that black hole's supergravity to compress the data into 36 bytes. 3 terabytes is about 3 trillion bytes. Compressing that into just 36 bytes. That's one heck of a squeeze. Will the compression take long?
It's practically instantaneously. 23 milliseconds or thereabouts. We're using a black hole after all.
By the way, the compression only holds the immediate vicinity of the black hole. Once the data leaves that area, it'll begin to decompress on its own. This too takes 23 milliseconds.
It has to make it back to the X68000 and into the phone wave within that window. It's only 36 bytes, shouldn't be a problem. Continue, Christina.
While the data is being compressed, we use the phone wave to generate a Kerr black hole, to create a Kerr ring singularity. When the electron discharge phenomenon occurs, we take the 36 byte data, patch it in, and send it to the past. This part is just like a D-mail. Data travels to the specified time where it arrives at the recipient's phone. By now, 23 milliseconds should have passed, so the data will now be fully decompressed. Next, the decoding program runs, converting the data back into nerve impulse signals. These signals are discharged from the phone's earpiece at approximately 0.02 amperes, a pretty weak charge. If the recipient has the phone to his ear, they should go straight into his brain. Assuming he answers his phone. If he doesn't, the transfer fails. Fortunately, we lose nothing but a copy of that memory's data. But that copy of the memory data. Why a phone call instead of an email? Because we need the recipient to put the phone to his ear. Otherwise, the signals won't reach the temporal lobe.
She indicates the side of her head. In this area, you have the frontal lobe and the temporal lobe in the brain. As I explained before, the hippocampus, where memories are stored, is inside the temporal lobe. The phone sends out electrical impulses that pass through the temporal lobe and into the hippocampus, overwriting the recipient's memories. At the same time, the phone sends impulses that stimulate the frontal lobe as well. This is important. Remember that the frontal lobe is responsible for sending receiving signals to the temporal lobe. This is how you remember things. By stimulating the frontal lobe, we force it to send retrieval signals key to the new memory data. Thus, the recipient's recalls of those memories are. Thus, the recipient recalls all those memories as if they were his own, which of course they are, or will be in the future. This happens in less than a second. Now the recipient has the same memories as the sender. The time leap is complete. If the data came from 1 week in the future, the recipient will remember that week as if he experienced it firsthand. We need to be aware that consciousness and personality aren't transferred. Both of those depend on the recipient.
Explain it with boobs.
Boobs? Kisu dissolves into a blushing, stammering mess. Looks like it's up to me to answer Dardo's question. Not with boobs, obviously. Let's say we send your memories to you in grade school. Right now, you're some kind of omnisexual pervert who thinks inanimate objects are hot. But in elementary school, you were still an innocent child.
I was a boring little jerk who did nothing but study. What of it?
Basically, that little jerk would suddenly have all your perverted memories, but his personality wouldn't change. It's not like you'll become that famous anime detective with the looks of a child and the brains of an adult.
What? That sucks.
This isn't like the time leaping you see in sci-fi novels. We aren't yet capable of transferring personality and consciousness. Ahem. Since you need a phone to receive the signal, you can only send memories to the times you had one. We also need to make sure that the sender and recipient are the same person. If someone besides your past self, your parents or your friend for instance, answers the phone, then the nerve impulse signals will be projected into their brain instead. If that happens, your memories could overwrite theirs, which could obviously cause serious damage to their psyche. Kurisu ends her explanation and takes a short breath. The lab falls into silence. I exchange glances with Kurisu and Daru. I look at Mayuri, but her expression is blank. I guess it was too complicated for her. So, I clear my throat. It's time for the million-dollar question. What do we do with it?
Do with what?
The time leap machine, of course. What do we do with it? For once, my assistant has nothing to say. I already know what she fears. I already know that she fears we've created a monster. Honestly, I feel the same way. After a few moments, Kurisu finally speaks. It's too much for us to handle, that's for sure. The safest thing would be to hand it over to the government for professional research. I can tell that she's not pleased to have reached this conclusion. She obviously would prefer to experiment with this technology. After all, it's humanity's first time machine. We've finally taken our first steps towards godhood. I'm sure that means I'm sure that the nations of the world would pay billions just for one look at our machine. The possibilities that it represents are limitless.
It just doesn't feel real.
Mayushi doesn't get it.
That's because you didn't work on it, Mayushi.
Oh, right. What about you, Okabe? And I mean you, not Hoen Kyoma. I agree with Kurisu that the time machine is dangerous. I'm sorry for yawning. On the other hand, I want to experiment. I state my honest feelings. Kurisu gasps. But there are still questions we need to answer. Streamers asleep post spoilers. This is unknown territory. Not just for us, but for all of humanity. Who will time leap? Who will time leap? I looked at each of the lab mems in turn. Daru quickly looks away. Mayote's expression is blank. Kurisu stares right back at me. It's hard to choose.
I'll pass.
Not a single person here wants the honor of being history's first time traveler. Everyone except for Mayote is probably thinking about what could go wrong. What if the time leap were to fail? What the heck? It's not like CERN's time machine. The possibility of becoming a jellyman is 0. This machine sends data, not the real thing. Don't let your preconceptions influence your decision. You might say it's like a cut and paste to your brain. Actually, it's more like a copy paste, and it's just your memories. The original doesn't get erased. That's a very easy to understand example. But that's not the problem. Time flows in a straight line from the past to present to future. At least that's how most humans see it. This raises several questions. What if there's an error somewhere and the data itself gets fractalized? Let's say I send my memories an hour into the past. My memories would be replaced by fractalized data. In other words, data full of tiny holes. Couldn't that cause memory loss? I suppose. 1 hour later, we arrive once again at the present. At that time, the me who has lost his memories an hour ago, and the current me conflict in my brain. Which dataset survives? Logically, the present should change as soon as you send memories to the past. The conflicting current me disappears then. So then it's not a copy-paste at all yet, is it? I don't know. No one's ever experienced time travel before. When we send an email, the world is reconstructed based on the change we made to the past. I'm the only one who's aware of this, however. You don't know what happens when you time leap. If it's the many world interpretation, like Tyler said, then the instant you time leap, it creates 2 possibilities. One where you shift to another world line, and one where you travel back in this time on the same world line. Of course, there must be also a world line where the current you doesn't disappear. That would likely correspond to a present that we're experiencing right now. But that's only if the many worlds interpretation holds in the first place. I thought you didn't believe what Tyler had to say. I'm talking hypothetically. Tyler doesn't matter right now. If it's the Copenhagen interpretation, then every possible state propagates through space as a wave function. When a particular state is observed, the remaining states collapse and that state is fixed. Oh, I didn't even realize I didn't read those earlier. In quantum theory, a function representing a quantum state. Scientists are not sure if wave functions represent reality or are a convenient mathematical abstraction to describe what goes on in quantum mechanics. A well-known approach to the Schrodinger's cat thought experiment. In this interpretation, before the box is opened, the cat exists as a combination of 2 wave functions, one that is alive and one that is dead. The instant the box is opened and the cat is observed, the wave function collapses to either condition. If the cat is alive upon opening the box, the wave function collapses to becoming a live cat. Conversely, if the cat is dead, the wave function collapses to become dead cat. Another quantum approach to this experiment is the many worlds interpretation. In this case, the observer who found the cat alive and the observer who found the cat dead exist in two separate universes that diverge the moment the box is opened. The Copenhagen interpretation is currently the dominant theory. The hippocampus is divided into three histological sections: CA1, CA2, and CA3. CA refers to the name given to the hippocampus by anonymous Geringer in 1742. Konoramus, the name of Amun. But precise observation is impossible. The problem is who the observer is in this case.
Wouldn't it be a third party? Like me or Mayushi?
Not necessarily. It might be me. It might be someone else. It could even be God. To begin with, the Copenhagen interpretation and the many worlds interpretation are both microscale theories used to explain quantum interactions. No one knows whether they can be applied to humans or to the world at large. What about my personal experiences with reading Steiner? If reading Steiner is the sort of power I think it is, then the world line model is correct. In the end, we arrive at the question of where's the self? This time leap machine only sends memories, that I guarantee.
Won't the present be reconstructed at the moment of transfer? That's what happens with Okudin's reading Steiner, right?
That makes sense where D-mails are concerned. Where we send a D-mail that we're obviously interfering in past events. But time leaping is different. All you do is send your memories to the past, which isn't the same thing as sending targeted D-mail. Whether the me who suddenly remembers 1 hour into the future will, in fact, change the past is something we can't know until it happens.
I'm getting confused. Sounds like we're talking about the soul. Isn't that a religious question?
Wait, you guys are misunderstanding something. 1 hour isn't enough time for your personality to change. You'll be the same person 1 hour ago that you are now. The only difference is that you'll have an extra hour's worth of memories. How can you be so sure? Well, I can't. Nobody's tried it before. This discussion's going nowhere. Personality and the consciousness still can't be strictly defined, so it's hard to imagine what might happen. So which is it? We don't know. We can argue the theories all we want, but in the end we can only guess. This experiment may end up shattering preconceptions scientists and philosophers have held for centuries. We won't know until we try. That pretty much sums it up. To make matters worse, the subject must be prepared to risk damage to their psyche. Kurisu Daru and I say no more. We can't solve this problem. This is our limit as scientists. But haven't we accomplished enough already? The time leap machine itself is worthy of a Nobel Prize. We could sell this technology for billions if we so choose. And if we go public with the time leap machine, we can break CERN's monopoly on time travel technology. That's enough. That's enough. It has to be. Hey. Marity, who has been observing the discussion with glassy eyes, opens her mouth to speak. I have an idea. Why don't we make a banana time leap instead? Oh, Mayuri. Bananas don't have brains like people do. Oh, you need a brain, huh? Mayuri never changes. The atmosphere in the room gets a little more relaxed. Let's not experiment. We'll entrust the time leap machine to a subtle research institution. Then we'll announce it to the world. Thanks to the lightening of the mood, I can finally say what was on my mind. Neither Kurisu nor Daru objects. No one has touched the time leap machine since that discussion. Ridiculous as it sounds, I can't shake the feeling that it might suck my memories out and fling them into the past. Oh, the machine does have its appeal, of course. We're all tempted by the idea of becoming humanity's first time leapers. Yet the fear of what could happen won out in the end. Perhaps as a way to forget our fears and move on, we decide to hold a celebration to mark the completion of the device. Everyone feels the need to get let loose after working so hard on the project. I have Daru order a pizza while Kurisu and I go shopping for snacks. Akiba has always had a lack of supermarkets. That hasn't changed even with the anime stores gone. After we could finish shopping, Kurisu and I walk along the evening streets. She looks like she's got something to say. She keeps stealing glances at me. Are you upset? Upset? She frowns like she didn't expect that question. Finally, she faces this way. About our decision to not attempt a time leap experiment. No, I'm not upset. Humans are temporal beings. That's a Heidegger quote. I was actually relieved when you made the decision not to use the machine. If you hadn't been there, I might not have been able to stop myself. Thank you. What's this? Gratitude. Does she have a fever? I put my hand to her forehead to check. Kurisu twitches. What are you doing? You're talking like an assistant for a change. I thought you might have a fever. I dropped my hand. I'm not grateful to you or anything, okay? Her voice is louder than it should be, and several people glance at us. Kurisu blushes and hangs her head. If Daru were here, he'd probably get all excited and say, "A real tsundere, sweet." Anyway, Kurisu clears her throat and returns to her usual sour expression. That thank you was just a formality. Don't get me wrong, okay? Of course. I only did what I had to. I am the founder of the Future Gadget Lab, Ho in Kyoma. My first priority is to protect the welfare of all my lab members. So I have no need for your thanks. And yet you always talk about plunging the world into chaos. You're my allies, and the world is my enemy. I'm speechless. You're too self-righteous. You say speechless, yet you're speaking. Don't argue semantics. It's quite mysterious, really. Only been 2 weeks since Kurisu and I met. And yet it already feels like natural for us to be walking together, exchanging banter like this. Don't forget what Titer said? Or what did Titer say? Perhaps pooling our efforts to create something new, dangerous though it may be, has brought us closer together. I admit that her knowledge and skills are impressive. I'd like her to remain at the lab if at all possible, but she said she's going back to America this month. It's already the 13th, so I wonder when she plans to return. I decided to ask her. Oh yeah, I forgot to get a plane ticket. I got too caught up in improving the phone wave. Going public with the time leap machine will send the world into an uproar. We also plan to expose CERN, remember? We may not be able to go back to America for some time. I guess you're right. I should call Mama and let her know. Looks like things are gonna get busy. Naturally, I want Kurisu to stay with us to the end. A little bit after we return to the lab, Mayuri gets back.
Doo doo doo. I'm back. Seems Mayuri went to Lukaku's. Suzuha shows up a few minutes later, and our development council comes to order. What Okadin calls a party. Dado ordered 3 pizzas. We also line up all the snacks that we brought on the table. It's just like the party we had a few days ago to cheer up Suzuha. I already wanted to decorate the room, but since everyone's tired, I dismissed it as unnecessary. Looks like Suzuha managed to retrieve her jacket from Mr. Braun. Man, that was terrible. I was stuck looking like an exhibitionist all day. The Braun Tube workshop's closed. Suzuha made sure the 42-inch CRT was turned off, so there's no need to fear any malfunction from the time leap machine. A heavy sigh escapes my throat. I realize that I've been tense and nervous since the time leap machine was completed. Now I can finally relax. The topic of the time leap machine has become taboo. Even Kurisu doesn't bring it up during the meeting. Daru, why did you order the exact same pizza as before? I opened the pizza boxes to find the same one he got for Suzuha's party.
Because I like it?
Naturally, I'm not amused. Okadin. I called Fady-chan and Luka-chan, but they said they couldn't come. Oh, do they have plans? Fady-chan has a Rhinet tournament.
Crap. I should have gone to cheer. How careless of me.
And Luka-chan seemed embarrassed for some reason. Maybe she thinks you'll make her wear a costume again. You still haven't convinced her to cosplay? Then what was the point of completing the costume? She said it was embarrassing. I keep telling her cuteness is justice, but she never listens. Cuteness is justice? Is that what they say? You're cute too, Chris-chan. Huh? Eh? Juice doesn't know how to react. She blushes, and Mayuri starts teasing her like a drunk old man. There's no alcohol at this party, of course. Hey, Kamima's coming up. Wanna go? I can't make something new, but I have a costume of Post-Awakening Seda from Bloodtoon I made last year. I think the size is just right for Chris-chan, too. Me? Cosplay? Kurisu looks conflicted, and she murmurs. I'm sorta interested. She sure could have fooled us before, pretending to have no interest in otaku culture. But I refuse to do it in public, though. You don't have to show anyone, but eventually you'll want them to see. The cosplay demon compels you.
The cosplay demon?
That reminds me, Chris-chan. You're always wearing that cute uniform. What school is it from? Oh, this? Kurisu lifts up her necktie. I attend Ayamain for about 2 weeks. I modeled this outfit after their uniform. Fictional. Ayamain Women Academy. Private school for girls in the Kudanshida neighborhood of Tokyo. An academic powerhouse, Ayamain is a popular destination for foreign exchange students. Oh, the uniform is really cute, but you made it even cuter. You might have a really good design sense. I'll bring the costume tomorrow, okay? Will you try it on then? Sure. Looks like Kurisu approves of the cuteness is justice philosophy.
When's the photo shoot?
Good to know you're still a pervert, Hashida.
Come on, it's Bloodtoon Sarah. She's got Panmaro going on.
Panmaro?
It means her panties are completely exposed.
No way. It's okay. You might not know this, but last year, there was a really popular saying. They're not panties, so it's not embarrassing. It's plenty embarrassing, trust me.
He has no shame. I know.
Wear it, okay? It's a promise. Maybe you shouldn't bother.
Suzuha speaks, her tone sharp. She's scowling at Kurisu again. Suddenly, the atmosphere in the room changes. What the heck is this? You're asking for trouble by trusting Makise Kurisu.
What's that supposed to mean?
Oops. Naturally, my strong-willed assistant isn't one to back down from a fight. Top 10 anime battles. These two. Sparks fly between the two girls.
I've been meaning to ask. Did I do something to you? Not to me, but I know everything you've done. What do you mean? I've done nothing to be guilty of. Perhaps. But I know your true nature. Wow. You can see into my heart? That's groundbreaking technology. I'd love to hear how it works. It's not science. It's a prediction. So you're just making it up. I know.
Uh-oh. We got a situation here.
Okarin,
Mayuri clings to me with teary eyes.
stop them from fighting.
Heh. This looks like a job for the one and only Hoen Kyoma. I insert myself between the two girls. Break it up, you two. I, Hoen Kyoma, shall decide this dispute. They both glare at me. Although I'm afraid for my life, I harden my resolve. The mission must succeed. First, I focus on Kurisu. Assistant, I didn't raise you this way.
You didn't raise me at all.
If you want to become a true mad scientist, you must learn to keep your emotions in check even as you calculate your way to victory.
Nobody asked you. And I'm already a scientist.
Next, I switch focus to Suzuha. Warrior, your enemy is Cern, remember? You must conserve your strength for Ragnarok.
I warned you before, Okabe and Taro. Makise Kurisu is a threat.
What? You're gonna mention that here? Now?
Oh, what's this about, Okabe?
Their eyes are like laser beams, boring into my skull. I want nothing more than to flee for my life. But Mayuri is watching me anxiously. I need to defuse the situation. Mwahaha! Looks like neither of you is willing to back down.
So be it. So be it.
Fight to your heart's content. Fight until there's no more fight to be had. Then, share a manly handshake by the river and let friendship blossom. But in the future, when it comes time for you to venture out into the real world, I hope you remember one thing. Nobody likes a mood killer.
Shut up. Shut up.
Getting yelled at by both of them at the same time sends shivers down my spine. It's coming. I quickly seize my right arm.
Gah. Why now of all times? Calm down, right arm of mine.
I turn around and head back to Mayuri. I'm sorry, Mayuri. At this rate, I'll end up hurting those two. I have no choice. The rest is up to you. Wow, didn't say him at the same time. Sorry, nerd.
Jeez.
Mayuri puffs her cheeks out and goes to where the two girls are.
Guys? Mayushi doesn't like it when you fight. Let's all get along, okay?
Hearing this, the two combatants reluctantly comply. I expected this would happen. Mayuri is the oil that keeps the gears of this lab churning along. The throbbing in my right arm dissipates. Daru comes over to chat with Suzuha, and gradually peace returns to the lab. Kirisu's in the development room, making a call. Probably to her mother in America. I sit on the sofa and watch TV while sipping Dr. Pete. The TV is running a game show where contestants guess the prices of popular items at high-class restaurants. Mayuri sits down next to me. She peels a banana and begins eating it.
Hey, Okuden.
Mayuri slowly looks around the lab, smiling all the while.
It's been really lively here these past few weeks, huh?
The price is rice. Yeah, I guess it has. I established the Future Gadget Laboratory around the time I entered college. It was the first step in my plan to bring chaos to the world. That was around the middle of March this year, which means it's been almost 5 months. Not half a month after it was established, Mayuri showed up. I'm still not sure why, and became a lab mem. For about a month, it was just me and Mayuri. Then in early May, I finally got Daru to join. All it took was telling him that the lab was just a 3-minute walk from May Queen plus Neon Squared. This location on the outskirts of Akiba has always been quiet. Mayuri isn't the type to object to every little thing, like Kurisu, nor the type to make dumb jokes like Daru, so the lab was very peaceful, very peaceful back in the day. Those days. It was quite a pleasant place to be. And now the lab mem count has increased to 8. It happened in the blink of an eye, or so it seems. They didn't come today, but Lukaku visits occasionally, and Fades is a familiar face at May Queen plus Neon Squared, or at least she was before May Queen disappeared. I remember feeling out of place the first time I came to Akiba, but now it's like a second home.
It's fun.
Mayuri too seems pleased by the increase in lab mems.
Now that there are 8 lab mems, Mayushi thinks it's getting a little cramped in here. First, we don't have enough chairs.
The sofa only has room for 2. Then there's Daru's personal desk chair. Those are the only chairs in the lounge. There's some pipe chairs in the development room, but they need to stay there.
We should buy more. Do you have money, Okuden?
New chairs will take all my savings. Then I need to get a part-time job again.
I guess you could use some of my salary. We need a new microwave too. Otherwise, I can't warm up my juicy chicken #1.
Yeah, sorry about that. Cutting off Mayushi's chicken supply might actually kill her. But Mayuri, when we turn over the time leap machine, the reward money will the reward money? Oh, the reward money will solve all our problems.
Will it be enough to pay for all the chairs in the microwave and on top of the higher rent?
It'll be enough. More than enough.
Wow, that's great, Okuden.
Why are you so happy?
Just look, we've made so many friends. There's Daro-kun, Chris-chan, Luka-chan, Suzu-san, Moika-san, Fades-chan, Bron-san, Nai-chan, and more.
She gazes wistfully into the distance.
In the spring, when you started this lab, you seemed so lonely. But now you're fine. You don't need me to be your hostage anymore.
What do you mean? I try to ask, but before I can finish, an urgent news bulletin appears on the TV. The subtitles read, "A terrorist bomb threat suspends Yamanote." Wait. Yamanote Sobu Keihin Toko lines. Tohoku lines. A bomb threat? Hang on. Those lines all pass through Akiba. How's Mayushi gonna get home?
Oh yeah, I should call home.
bomb threat. I don't know why, but I got a bad feeling about this. Only the lines passing through Akihabara are suspended. As if that were the target. Wait, could that be it? Could the bomb be at Akihabara Station? I get a cold feeling in my stomach. Okabe and Taro, I need to know. You completed the time leap machine, right? Huh? Well, yeah. Okay. I just remembered I'm going to do. I got something to do. I'm going out. Suzuha leaves the lab without another word. What's wrong with her? Suzuha's acting strange. Is it related to the bomb threat? Why'd she just ask about the time leap machine? Something occurs to me. 2 threatening emails I received. We're watching you. You know too much. Who sent them? And there's more. Words and images flash through my head. CERN. The LHC. Jellymen. The Z program. Government secrets. The organization. Men in Black. The Committee of 300. The Time Leap Machine. What did Kurisu say? We may have created a monster here. Taken separately, each of these elements was insignificant. But if I consider them part of a single line, they all point to one inescapable truth. We've come too far. Fear seizes my heart in an icy grip. I can feel anxiety eating at my brain. I can't breathe. Even though it's hot and humid, my body shivers. Should we run? Get all we still can? Can't use the trains. What about subway? Or would a taxi be better? Nobody's saying anything. Nobody's doing anything. What should we do? Suddenly there's a softness against my hand. I look down to see Mayuri's hand holding mine. When I look up, I see worry written on her face. It's okay. I'm just being paranoid. It's all a coincidence. Tomorrow we'll get rid of the time leap machine. Then we can forget all of this ever happened. Pretend it was just a dream. We never invented a time machine. I don't need money. As long as we can forget about it today and welcome tomorrow, we'll be okay, won't we? My anxiety doesn't go away. I look over Mayuri's head at the entrance to the lab. The door is unlocked. Anyone could just waltz right in. I hear sirens wailing a few streets away. The bomb threat has Akiba in an uproar. Yet here in our corner of Akiba is so quiet. Mayuri squeezes my hand with her warm, slender fingers. I squeeze back. Okay. Who are these guys? The next thing I know, the door slams open. 5 men burst into the lab. Their movements are swift and sure, professional, and each of them is carrying a gun. They spread out just inside the door and aim their weapons at us. It all happened so fast, no one had time to scream. The men are foreigners, a mix of races, dressed casually in colorful shirts and shorts or jeans. But their arms are thick with muscle, and their eyes are hard and cold as ice. 2 of them are holding pistols. The other 3 have assault rifles. AK-47s in Akiba? Is this some kind of joke? One thing is certain. These guys aren't tourists.
Hands in the air. Nobody move.
The dark-skinned, crew-cut man barks an order. It feels as if I'm dreaming. Did I fall asleep watching an action movie? This is the first time so many people have gathered in this room. Suddenly the lab feels small. What an odd thing to be thinking at a time like this. The first to obey is Daru. Then Kurisu raises her hands. Then me. Last is Mayuri. Silence. Time seems to grind to a halt. The men say nothing, but their guns remain steady, muzzles pointed at us. On the TV, a comedian laughs. What is this? Are we on candid camera? Then I hear a new sound coming from outside. Sound of high heels. A woman is coming up the stairs. Are these men waiting for her? Is she their leader? A squad of battle-hardened commandos led by a beautiful woman. It's like something out of a manga. Nothing seems real. Before long, the woman appears. Ugh. Kiryu Moeka, the part-time editor. The male demon, Shining Finger, who is never seen without her phone. Lab Mem 005. Moeka? She's their leader? The least imposing woman I've ever met. Even now, she doesn't meet my stare. Her eyes are aimed down at the floor. What's going on here? Moeka-san? We're taking the time machine. As always, her words are barely audible. It's ridiculous. Laughable. And yet I can't laugh. My heart is a jackhammer in my chest. The inside of my mouth is drier than a desert. I stay still with my hands in the air. Makise Kurisu, Okebi Rintaro, Hashira Itaru. The three of you will come with us. I don't understand. Why is Moeka here? I don't know, but I have to ask. What's going on here? I can't answer that. This is a joke, right? Moeka shakes her head. You don't need to know. You can't resist. Come with us. Where? No reply. She doesn't intend to answer that either. Dangerous. These guys are dangerous. Look at their guns. Nothing good can happen if we go with them. I try to refuse, but my voice catches in my throat. I can't stop staring at their guns. Are they real? They're not gonna start shooting, are they? I'm not going anywhere until you answer. Why is Mayuri holding her hands up so funny to you? You can't refuse. You have nowhere to run. We have men stationed throughout Akihabara. Wait. Something clicks in my head. It was them. They set the bomb threat. They stopped the trains. Why? To keep us here? Just for that? I don't want to hurt anyone. The three of you come with us. Why? Kurisu, who has kept silent until now, finally opens her mouth. Why just the three of us? That's when I realized that Mayuri wasn't included in Moeka's demand. She only wants Kurisu, Daru, and me. I'm not answering your questions. Come with us, it's your only choice. We're not getting anywhere.
Okurin.
Daru's voice is shaking. I turn my head to look at him. He's deathly pale.
Don't you think we should do what she says?
But unless she tells me the reason, honestly, I have no idea what to do. My heart is still fluttering in my chest. This seems more like a dream than reality. I'm not a military otaku. I've never seen a real gun. The black shine of their weapons looks somehow tacky. They lack the imposing feel you expect. I'd believe her if she told me they were fake. Mayuri suddenly speaks up. Moeka-san, you're a Lab M too, aren't you? It's as if Mayuri asked my question for me. Moika was a strange woman, but I welcomed her as a lab ma'am all the same. What is she thinking right now? In answer. Okay. Moika pulls a gun from her belt and points it at us. I realize that Moika isn't holding her phone. This is the first time I've seen her without it. Not like that matters now. Moika's gun hand is trembling. Is the situation affecting her too? It must be. She's terrified of talking to people. Our mission is to silence you. Silence us? Your refusal to come will change nothing. Does that mean she plans to kill us? Why? What did we do? Who sent you? Who are you people? We? Moika suddenly lifts her head. For perhaps the third time since I've known her, she looks straight at me. Her eyes are dark and empty. Are from CERN. Gosh dang it. CERN?
M4.
The dark-skinned man speaks up. Is he addressing Moika?
Watch your tongue.
Moika hangs her head again. In my head, I replay the words she just spoke. CERN. They're from CERN? Why CERN? Of course, who else could it be? Come with us, now. Moika raises her voice in frustration. If you continue to resist, I'll have to resort to extreme measures. Moika slowly raises her gun. She points the muzzle at... Mayuri? Mayuri? Why are you pointing at her? My whole body instantly goes cold. Shiina Mayuri is not needed. Stop! What the heck is this outfit? I lunge at Moika, but the dark-skinned man is faster. Oh, jeez. Gah! Something strikes my chin with crushing force. The shock numbs my entire body. Stars explode behind my eyes. I fall to my knees, powerless to stand. Everything goes dark. What happened? Did he hit me with the butt of his rifle? Okarin! I look up. Mayuri, face streaked with tears, is reaching out to me as if begging for help. Over her shoulder, I see Moika ready her gun. Mayuri, no! I try to yell stop, but my voice catches in my throat. Nothing comes but a pitiful wheeze. Someone. Anyone. Please. Stop her. Stop Moika. Moika's lips move. She's mumbling something. For CERN. For FB. For CERN. For FB. Her mouth opens and closes robotically. My blood curdles. No! No! Oh, a sharp, dry crack splits the air. Time slows to a crawl. Moika pulled the trigger. Oh. How could you do that? Oh my gosh! Blood spurts from Mayuri's forehead. It splashes across my face, wet and warm. Her delicate, frail body falls towards me. I catch her. Her body is limp like a puppet with no strings. Her head and arms dangle lifelessly. The smell of gunpowder fills my nose, and then the smell of blood. Whoa! Daru clutches his head and falls to his knees, screaming at the top of his lungs. The sound jerks me back to my senses. in my arms. Mayuri takes one short swallow breath, and then... Oh, Kari. Mayuri? No, no, no. She's dead. What the heck, my... Wait, what's her name again? Gosh dang it. Hold on. Moeka. What the heck, Moeka? Her face is covered in blood. Her blood stains my hands. It's warm. You three come with us, now. No more warnings. Resist and we'll kill you too. I hear a voice, but I can't comprehend what it's saying. What is this? What's going on here? This is a joke? We may have created a monster here. This is a dream, right? Right? I feel nothing. My mind is blank. I shake Mayuri's shoulder. Mayuri? Wake up, Mayuri. You'll catch cold if you sleep here. If you're tired, you can stay overnight. Or I could take you home if you prefer. We'll ride the train back to Ikebukuro together, like we used to before Daru joined, when it was just the two of us. Memories of her smile twirl through my head. 1,000 different smiles from 1,000 different occasions. If I look away, she'll disappear. She always disappears. But now you're fine. You don't need me to be your hostage anymore. No, Mayuri. I still need you. Laugh for me, like you always do. Beat me with your silly tuturu. Tell me it's a lie. Tell me you're alright. Mayuri? Red flames consume my mind. An inferno of rage and hate. And rage and hate and the burning desire to kill everything I see. I gently lay the motionless Mayuri on the floor. I stand up, and then I fling myself at Moeka. Okabe! Before I can take a step, someone grabs my hand from behind. You can't. Let me go, let me go! You can't, they'll kill you! Moeka's gun is aimed at my head. Her finger is already on the trigger. You gonna kill me too? If you resist. Please, Okabe, do what she says, okay? Otherwise, they'll kill you too. I tear my hand from Kurisu's grip. My vision is a tunnel, with Moeka on the other side. She won't get away with this. She killed Mayuri in cold blood. I'll do the same to her. No! Moeka pulls the trigger. Oh! Huh? Sound of the shot smites upon my eardrums. I feel a sharp pain on the side of my head. I nearly lose my balance again. But I'm still alive. What happened? I realize that Moeka's gun is lying at her feet. Besides it is a small stone. Someone must have thrown it and knocked her gun aside. Who is this now? Get down! Gah! Yo! Suzuha, let's go! Get down! Suddenly, Suzuha is there in the doorway, knocking one man down in the blink of an eye. Before anyone can react, she darts another man into another man's range and delivers a piercing elbow strike to his solar plexus. The man drops to his knees, gasping for air. Promoted to full-time warrior. The remaining men turn their guns to her, but she throws the incapacitated man towards them to block their aim. She then slides into the feet of the man at the rear, tripping him forward, and in a single smooth flowing motion drives her knee into the man's face as she falls.
Who the heck?
The dark-skinned man aims his rifle, but before he can fire, Suzuha snatches a stunned attacker's gun and shoots him. Gah! Blood spurts from the man's hand. Without pausing, Suzuha leaps into the air and delivers a soaring roundhouse kick to his jaw. Enough. Huh. The next thing I know, the five men are down, and Moeka's gun is aimed at Suzuha's face. But Suzuha doesn't back down. Her gun is trained on Moeka's neck. It's a standoff. Neither moves. Silence returns to the room. Who are you? 42. Suzuha's reply makes no sense. She glances at me. TV. What is she saying? Turned on. What? Suddenly, Kurisu springs up and makes a break for the development room. Okay, so she turned on the TV. Don't move. That's my line. I suddenly realized the meaning of Suzuha's words. The 42-inch TV downstairs, it's on. She wants me to use the time leap machine. She wants me to use the time leap machine? I look at Mayuri's body. She's lying there quietly. Her eyes are closed. They'll never open again. One of the men Suzuha knocked out starts to moan. If they wake up, it's all over. Suzuha looks at me again. Her eyes implore me to make any move. If I use the machine, I can avert Mayuri's death. But at the same time, it could fry my brain. This is a risk you gotta take, dude. Fry my brain, so what? What is there to fear? Mayuri is dead, shot in cold blood. This isn't right, I won't accept it. And change it. Change the past. You have the power, use it. I stagger into the development room. Kurisu is about to put on the headgear. I pull it away from her. Okabe. I'm going back. No, I should be the one to... I grab Kurisu's wrist and as she tries to take it back. I stare into her eyes wet with tears. I will save Mayuri. But what if it fails? I ignore her and put on the headgear. Moika's last shot grazed the side of my head. My ears are still ringing and there's blood on my neck. It doesn't matter. I might fail, I might even die. But I have to try. It's my only chance to save Mayuri. Kyusu bites her lip and activates the X68000. Okabe Rentaro. One of them is moving. Get in there, kill them.
Dang kids.
The crew cut man staggers into the development room. Acting purely on instinct, I grab future number 4, Mode Snake, from the shelf and flick on the switch. White smoke instantly fills the room, rendering it impossible to see. Kill them! Ah! Kurisu? Okabe, are you sure? Are you sure about this? Really? Do it, Kurisu. Activate the machine. Ah! Pain flares into my right arm. Was I shot? Doesn't matter. I see blue-white light shining through the smoke. The discharge is starting. The light rapidly grows brighter. The floor begins to shake. Singularity is opened. I crouch down, holding the headset steady with one hand. Wait for me, Mayuri. I won't die here. I'll cross through time to save you. Leap my memories. Leap to the past. Leap! The world explodes into the light. What the heck? What, I just got like 10 minutes back? Coyote? Alright. I just did that entire chapter today. Yeah, I'm definitely ending the stream right now. Like, I was thinking about ending the stream like not super long ago, but after that whole scene started up, I couldn't. Jeez, what a chapter. Yes, I mean, kind of like my theory where Moeka was the one that like kind of stole the IBM 5100. Not entirely wrong. She just made it so. She just made it so someone else could have taken it, or. Ugh. Yeah, then Mayuri dying. I was not expecting that. I mean, I'm honestly not like too perturbed about that, just because like it seemed like that going back in time seemed to have worked. So I mean, like it kind of seems like there's not really much of a there's really not much of a consequence to her dying, if I could say that, because we could just go back in time to save her. That might seem kind of like rude or anything, or something to me of me to say, but really, am I wrong? It is messed up, I know, but like thinking time travel logic wise, like yeah, obviously it would have been much better if she didn't die at all, but like we're able to go back to save her. Alright. Good night, Carson. Yeah. Like I'm sorry if saying that makes me sound like such a like a cold-hearted person. But again, that's just my thought process of this. If there had been no time travel, obviously would have been awful. But just with time travel there, it's ah. Sure, everyone thinks it to some degree. I mean, they could all just like, I'm. It's possible I'm thinking that a lot because of the Zero Escape series. I guess that is kind of spoilers if I mention that, but you know that series deals with this kind of a lot. It's not like big spoilers there. But yeah. That's it. What is it? You're unsubbing? No! No, I need your $5 a month. I mean, I really appreciate your support. I mean... You ever hear about Twitch Prime? Yeah, if you get a free subscription on Twitch Prime every month. You should use it on me. Hehehe. Hehehe. I'm gonna sell out. Alright. Yeah, I'm ending the stream here. Thanks especially for watching tonight. That was a great stream. That chapter was way shorter than all the others. Cause like, all the others I did like, at least, I was doing in like 2 streams or more. This one I just did all today. But alright. Yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.